Today's Sunday session is brought to you thanks to the fine folks at More Beer. Visit them right now at morebeer.com.
I want people to believe in me, and I want people to believe in me when they taste my beer. That's what it's about.
You mean you laid underneath it and tried to put his tongue up the bung?
I like to actually scoop up the yeast and look at it.
7 o'clock came real early that next morning.
Oh, yeah, man. Thanks for dumbing that down for us. You did an awesome job. It's all about food and beer.
Punch me in the junk. Man, that thing was thick.
The point is just beat it like it's your dick.
I like to smell it afterwards.
Are you being sarcastic right now?
Yeah. Bring your body armor.
I ran into my junk once on a ball valve in a kettle.
That's a true happy ending.
Now, live from the Brewing Network studios in Northern California, this is the radio program for home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, and beer geeks. It's your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers together with, well, expert drinkers. This is the radio program with a head on it. This is The Session.
Welcome, everybody. It is The Session. I'm your host, Jason Petros. And exactly. I'm the other guy. I'm the guy that normally sits where you are.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, JP.
Right. Yes, that's true, too. That's also me. People know me by JP as well.
Oh, you got a lot of names.
I got Dick Nose is another one.
Okay.
That I get a lot. Dick Breath sometimes, only after I party real hard.
Okay.
I don't know why. I'll black out. I'll wake up in the morning and people are like, hey, Dick Breath. I'm like, I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, it's a good way to make friends when people have nice nicknames for you like that.
I think so, too. Anyway, everybody, Justin is off again. He's out in Colorado in Fort Collins managing the final phase of construction for the Hop Grenade Volume 2 because if he doesn't, nobody else will.
Right.
That's what I hear anyway. I don't know.
That's what he says.
I see pictures of other guys partying out there and stuff. I see what's going on.
Just partying.
Partying.
I think it's called team building.
I see.
Yeah, which we've never done here. But at the Hop Grenade, they do all the time.
They do.
I don't know.
They have outings.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I guess that's what happens when you're a team.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what that feels like. Anyway, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. We took a very awesome and very well-deserved break right after NHC, like we always do. So we're going to talk a little bit about NHC and then a little bit about some other stuff, little housekeeping details, and then we're going to get on with our guest, Greg Engert from Blue Jacket Brewing Company in D.C., Washington, D.C., not to be confused with anything else.
The electricity?
Right, the current.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the current.
Oh, okay.
Or the president.
That's true. But first, thank you to More Beer, our fine sponsor, More Beer, where you can get absolutely everything that you need to make great beer at home. They've been sponsors from the get-go. Actually, I was out there, well, not out there, but I was at their booth, spent a good 20 minutes at their booth at NHC, or at HomebrewCon, excuse me, looking over all the new stuff that they have.
Yeah, it's
and
a great place to see it.
Yeah, Olin was taking me around, and I was like, this is crazy, dude.
Well,
you guys have some weird shit. They have like it's like not injection mold. I guess it's injection mold. I don't know. It's like a plastic, like CO2, like a plastic bottle, right? But in the shape of a conical. Okay. And it's like a pressurized plastic conical.
Huh.
And you can drop in and out, and you can carbonate in.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he's like, they're from New Zealand. They're great. It's like the new thing that we're going to be rolling out, and all sorts of stuff, man. Gadgets. They're just the gadget king, man.
Yeah. Are those single use or reusable?
No, they're reusable.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's like a whole lid that screws off.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole thing.
Are
man.
they polished on the inside, or?
I don't know.
It must work, otherwise they wouldn't be selling.
Right.
I'm trying to find something wrong with it. There isn't. Yeah. Otherwise,
I've never
like a
even
bad
seen
idea,
it before.
right?
That's true, yeah. And, who knows, man. But it's just, I don't know, they're coming out with a lot of cool stuff. So those guys at More Beer, they're doing great things in home brewing, and it was good to see them out there. And they're smart. They went online, I was talking to Chris, they went online and got I think it's called Eva foam. Just they're like mats, like for your garage or whatever, and they just link together like puzzle pieces. That link together. Yeah. And he's like, we did this whole giant. I think they had like a 20 by 20 booth. It was like $300 to like pad their floor at the conference, which is a huge thing. Easy. And you have to pay like thousands of dollars to do it through the union, the Freeman or whatever.
That's crazy.
But $300, they did it, and it was like, oh my god. So I was hanging out there a lot because walking on the conference floors hurts.
Yep, I found those booths and I frequented them a lot.
Yeah. BSG folks had a booth like that too, but theirs was like, if More Beers was like the economy class, theirs was like first class flooring. It was like you sink in 4 inches. It was crazy.
Yeah. And it looked like hardwood, didn't it?
It looked like hardwood, yeah. And it felt amazing. It felt like clouds.
Yes.
And they had beer. So that was very fun to go through and spend a bunch of time. I'll have the Kolsch, I guess. JP, you've been here for 4 hours. I know, but I'll just have the Kolsch, I guess. It's fine.
It hurts to leave.
It really pains me. The floor is lava. Watch out. Anyway, we have some stuff to give away tonight, too, Tasty.
Great. I could use some stuff.
Well, it's not for you.
Oh, damn.
Well, unless you call in.
Yeah, you can call in.
Phone right here.
Disguise your voice.
Number now.
Just try disguising your voice.
That's great.
What would your lady voice sound like if you tried to be a lady? What would you be like?
Hey, this is Tasty.
Yeah. No, you're disguising your voice.
Wait a second.
You're disguising your voice.
Oh,
you're not
my real voice.
Yeah, because you're trying to be someone else.
No, I wouldn't want to.
No, you can't go, hi, my name is Tasty, and I work at the Brewing Network.
I wouldn't know what to say.
No, okay. Well,
I'm too focused on my imitation.
That's true. Well,
what could I win if I was eligible?
Well, for the Twitter game, we are giving away a Smart Water testing kit.
Oh, those are awesome.
The iDip. And I got one right here.
Yeah.
And we've used one before. Right now, Jay at the Rare Barrel is using it. But it's a cool little John. Back on the Johns. Handheld, very tiny little guy. Put your water in there. It comes with a bunch of pH strips. They're all calibrated, calculated perfectly for you. So we're giving away one of those to the winner of the Twitter game today, folks.
You can test your water right before you use it and adjust.
And it would be great.
And doesn't that work with your smartphone or tablet or whatever you want to use?
You have an app, and then it just uploads your thing right to the app, and you can actually email that out or share it on Facebook or whatever, right?
Yeah, that's what I want to use Facebook for now. Is I want to know what the stats on your water are that you're drinking.
That would be the best way to lash out at everyone who thinks that social media is like a waste of time. Or just only like daily water updates and see how many people unfollow you. That would be amazing.
Every time you have a glass of water, you test it.
I would just take it with me to restaurants. I think your water is.
I get it for instance.
Okay.
Say you're in a homebrew club and you're in it's a major area, but you're all using the same water. Well, what if when you did do it, you posted it to the club site.
Exactly.
Show you what's going on with the water today.
Yeah. You posted it to your club Facebook page or your group or whatever. You can email it to everybody, and then also if you're a commercial brewer, you can email it to your beer team, your entire team, and let them know what's going on.
There you go.
So I love the thing. It's really cool. And George and the guys at the iDip, the Smart Brew kit, are good people. You can go to smartbrewkit.com and check it out, too. But anyway, so enter the Twitter game. We'll get to that in a second, Warren. Don't worry, unless you're ready now.
You're already ready?
No. I can be if you want to be.
I think we should do it right before the end of the segment, like normal.
Okay. Let's do that.
Why mix it up?
Why do that?
Yeah.
We are also giving away...
That's when he'll be ready.
Right,
exactly.
Right. I've read between the lines. We're also giving away a full pass to the California Craft Beer Summit.
Oh, man.
In Sacramento.
That's a great time.
That's a good time. That's a really good...
What are the dates on that? Do you have that?
I do. It's September 7th through the 9th.
The beer festival at the end is really good.
That's what I hear, man.
California breweries in the Capitol Mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in August, we're going to give away a pass to that as well. I think it's 2 tickets, but don't hold it against me if I'm wrong. But now it's the full conference, right? So, you can network with established and upcoming brewers, learn from equipment vendors and suppliers, and get tips on how to perfect and improve your homebrewed beer. So you don't have to be a commercial brewer to go to this thing. It's really good for home brewers as well. Get the chance to hear brewing industry innovators and pioneers talk about their days as home brewers and share stories. Educational series include Ask the Brewmaster and How to Start a Brewery, help you build strong foundations in the beer industry and continue to hone your craft. It's a valuable educational event for everyone, whether you're starting to open your own brewery, pair beer with food, taste and discuss different beer styles, or advance your understanding of distribution channels. If you don't win the tickets today, don't worry. You can buy it for one day or the entire summit weekend on cacraftbeersummit.com with an early bird discounting ending July 10th. So you better get on that. That's in like 2 weeks or whatever. But anyway, we're going to give that away, and I think we should just do a call-in segment, Tasty, because I don't know what else to do.
Well, it's got to be people that are obviously can go to it. They can't be people calling from the part of the country that can't fly in or something.
Right.
And we could clear them as the calling would be great. Then we can find out where they're from.
What should we do? What's the game we should give away? Or not give away, but what's the game we should play?
Should we just ask them to tell us something that they think we want to know about them? And then they can tell us.
And
then we can decide whether or not we really wanted to know that about them.
That's a good one.
I mean, we could get some oversharing, possibly.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Tasty, do you agree with that?
I'll go with
Or we can do
that.
something else.
No, I think. Look, oftentimes the first thing is the best thing, Warren. So call up and overshare with us. Overshare with the BN. I have to write the whole thing down.
Otherwise, we'll forget what they're supposed to be doing when they call in.
Otherwise, I'll be looking at it throughout the show, and I'll be like, God, I need to finish writing that sentence out, or else it's not going to feel right for me. I have issues. Okay, so not now, but after our guest calls, after we chat with Greg from Blue Jacket, I want you to call in at 888-401-2337 and overshare.
Drink a lot. While you're waiting to go on, drink a lot. Okay,
drink a ton of beer. It would help if you were also fighting for Drunk of the Week.
Yeah,
and literally fighting.
It might help with your brainstorming too.
2 birds with 1 stone.
It probably would. Yeah, it probably would. So yes, tell us something that you think we need to know about you. And then we'll decide if we need to know that. But also, call in if you can go to the 3rd Annual California Craft Beer Summit and Beer Festival. That's That's September 7th through the 9th in Sacramento. It's a great event. You guys should definitely go check that stuff out. Let's do some feedback right now. What do you think?
Sure.
Great.
All right. Feedback today is brought to you by John at the Beer Law Center. You can go to beerlawcenter.com. If you're looking to open your own brewery or winery or spirit, whatever a spirit place is called, a haunted house, I think.
Distillery?
Yes, a distillery. There's that, too. Go to beerlawcenter.com, and John over there can help you navigate the paperwork. He can also protect your trademark for anything, even if it's not beer-related. He can help you do that, and he's a good dude, so check him out. He's obviously a big supporter. I was hoping to see him at HomebrewCon, and I'm kind of disappointed he didn't go.
Well, I thought he was going to be there. I didn't see him.
Me too. I assumed he was going to be there, but...
Did he have a booth or somebody there from his? No.
I don't think so. I don't know why he didn't. I'll have to give him shit for that.
A lot of homebrewers need a beer law center.
They do.
I guess they're opening new breweries. There was a bunch of conferences about how to open up a brewery at this NHC.
Yeah.
People are still wanting to do that.
Yeah, suckers. Yeah. I thought he'd go just to say hi to me.
Oh, yeah. That would have been worth a booth.
I think so, too.
That way he had plenty of room to say hi to you from.
Yeah. Well, he knows he can just fly me out, and it would be the cost of a booth.
Right.
But
maybe you'd actually get work done on his forward.
Maybe. Well, I did my forward already.
Oh, wow. It's already done.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? How hard is writing a forward to a book? First pass, I was like, what do you think? And he's like, I mean, if you say you're done, you're done. And I said, yeah, of course. And John, come on, dude.
All right.
No, it's good. I liked it.
Your forward? Or
my
the book?
forward.
Okay.
The book's good, too.
Okay.
Even I understood it.
Yeah.
That's what John's good at. He dumbs it down. Speaking of distilling, he dumbs a bunch of shit down.
Nice.
And he speaks very simply, which I need a lot of. Yeah, the forward, dude, coming out soon. I'm really excited for it.
You'll be published soon.
Yeah,
you'll be a published author.
I mean, I had to pay him $500, but I think it's worth it. It's the next step in my career.
Exactly.
Now you get a resume item.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, this email is from someone called Justin, not our Justin, but a Justin. The death pool was another example of classic Moscow miseling. The question was, do you smoke cigarettes or vape? And he answers no. However, on the last Sour Hour episode, he was discussing smoking tobacco pipes. So he answers truthfully while still sidestepping around the truth. Justin.
He's not the only one who misled the questionnaire.
No, Doc was the king of the Meisel.
Yeah.
Because we all know his true nature, his final form.
Yes.
And he did not eat. Well, the last 2 weeks have been really healthy, so I'm going to answer really healthy.
Based on the last 2 weeks.
Right.
That's the rest of my life.
Because that's Doc. Doc's not with us today. He wrote.
Don't lie to somebody else.
He sent me a text message here. Let me see if I can read it. It was pretty funny. I thought it was a good interaction. I thought it was a solid interaction. He goes, "Hey JP, I'm not going to do the show tonight. I had a small procedure today." And I said, "Okay, thanks for letting me know. Hopefully your transition goes well." And he said he's waiting for the pain to set in. So, poor Doc. Drink a beer for Doc. I'm sure he'll survive, and he'll be taller and more prettier than ever. Okay, the next one, I'm not sure I should explain that he was having a medical procedure. Now I feel like I overshared.
Oh, you want those tickets, don't you?
Yes, I do. Okay, this next one is from Mike. He says, Justin, congratulations on your award at NHC. I'm pretty sure they mean HomebrewCon. It was truly well-deserved. Your podcasts have helped advance homebrewing in an immeasurable way. Now that you've won a Lifetime Achievement Award, does this cement your place at the top of the death pool? Keep up the great work. That's true. Justin won the, what was it, Tasty? Like a Excellence
Committee Recognition Award?
Recognition Award.
They recognized him for something or other.
From the AHA board.
Yeah, and it was really cool. And so I was sitting next to him because we're doing the cameras and stuff. Well, when I say we're doing he's doing the cameras, and I'm sitting there waiting to do something. And I think it wasn't Janice. I forget who it was. Some lady was like, "Here are a bunch of things that describe this person," which is kind of cool. And then she's like talking clever and funny and caring. And I'm like, this person is not Justin.
Then she said honest, and I got like, oh no, I don't know anybody like that.
I don't know anybody like that either. And then she said cult-like, and
then I thought,
yeah, I actually knew, but beforehand, yeah, but. So that was interesting, but then Jay apparently was like, yeah, when she said cult-like, I was like, who the fuck is that? And then it was him. So that was pretty cool, and it was the first time he commented after the fact, like we broke down and we're walking away, and he goes, that's the biggest award I'm ever going to win, and I couldn't say a goddamn thing.
Yeah, he was at a loss for words. I was surprised, but not too surprised, I guess. He was definitely moved.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah. So thanks, Mike, for your congratulations. I'll pass those on, I'm sure. Matthew writes in. He says, Dear Brewcasters, I want to thank you for the great programming. Although I'm cleaning and racking kegs at my local brewery when you guys are live, I've come to enjoy hearing the interviews that you guys have, the insight into that carbonated stuff with the alcohol, and the constant insults thrown at Beardy. I'm currently reading through How to Brew, and have also asked some of the brewers who homebrew if they would let me shadow them. Sounds like a nice way of saying stalking. Thank you for some great laughs, great talks, and great breweries. Yeah, dude, that's how you do it. That's how you learn. You shadow people. You let you let them let you work for free.
Never let them out of your sight.
Never do it. Tuck them in bed at night, bro.
Yeah.
Comb their beard. Okay, Joe writes in. He says, Dearest BN team, first and foremost, congratulations to Justin for the award recognition on Saturday at NHC. It's a long time due for the great work done. I've been brewing for about 8 years and listening for equally as long. During that time and living in New York City, I've always brewed small batches, 1 to 3 gallons, mainly since space is a great commodity here. So I never wanted to give up my precious homebrew for competition. But this year, I finally gave in and entered the NHC. My wit beer took first place in the first round and then third in the final round. Good job, Joe. He was like the only beginner. Yeah. All of the shows, I'm assuming he entered as the Brewing Network. That's probably my faux pas. All of the shows on the network have helped in one way or another, so a big thanks to Jay-Z, Justin, Doc, Tasty, Jay, I guess even Beardy. Truly thanks for everything, Joe McCann. P.S. I didn't forget about JP, but he can suck a dick.
Hey, at least he didn't forget about you.
That's true. Or is it like he's saying it more like a compliment, but he can suck a dick?
He sure can suck a dick.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Has he called you dick breath before?
He may have. Who knows? Who can really say? After you get called dick breath for 400 times, you lose track.
All the faces and dicks start to look the same.
They just look the same, man. Ryan writes in, he says, JP, can you either read or post the oatmeal stout recipe that you let everyone on the session try when Dave Marley Overy was on the session talking about spitting oatmeal into his friend? Yes, I can. I'll just post it somewhere because I don't want to look it up. But Man, I got my fucking second round score sheets back.
Oh.
Some asshole gave that beer a 28.
What? That's not a 28 beer. At least what I
Yeah.
Right. Oh, my God, dude. You have no... Oh, Jesus. Here, let me get through this.
No.
I'm not going to go too... Well, no,
well
I'm
then
not
the judges got to be so close together, so the other guy wasn't that much higher.
32. It was a 32.
And you can tell he was leaning the other way.
Well, but in mouthfeel, he was complaining about it being low-bodied and not roasty enough. And then in the flavor, he said it was it was not roasty enough and astringent.
Well, I think
And I don't understand how that happens. But...
I think we might have described it as not roasty enough. I think.
Yeah, and that's totally fine, and I totally own that. But that's what I was going for, and that's fine. But I tried it last night, and like everything's coming around, which is nice. I think that recipe takes about a month for everything to kind of
something to know about your beer for entering it next time.
Exactly. But the guy who gave me a 28 complained that he said the aroma didn't live up to the flavor didn't live up to the aroma. That was his comments in the overall impressions. Okay. And I just wanted to fucking nut punch that asshole. Yeah. Who writes that? What a dickhead thing to say.
I don't remember that being in the guideline that the flavor needs to live up to the aroma in the oatmeal stout category.
Too much aroma in there.
Was Brian Cooper judging? Because I hope it was him.
No, it wasn't. It was some guy called Bill something or other. It just, I don't know, made me mad,
give
man.
him a shout out.
I didn't put his last name, so it's fine. But another good one was the nutty aroma wasn't strong enough.
Nutty.
And he gave me he gave me like a lower score on aroma.
It wasn't a nut beer, was it?
Well, so if you read the aroma profile of the oatmeal stout in the BGCP, it says a nutty oatmeal nutty like quality aroma is optional. That's all it says about it.
Yeah.
So for that thing to be optional, you mark me down for it?
Yeah,
you're a piece of shit. No. You're a terrible, and he's a national judge. Fuck you, dude. Whatever. Anyway, moving on. Taylor.
You're taking this very well.
Yes. I think so, too.
So you're going to compete next year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't look crazy at all.
You'll beat those judges at
3-8. Right. Motherfucker. And 3 sweet stouts swept the stout category in HC. Oh, that pissed me off.
Now you know what to brew next year.
Oh, damn it. Fuck. Whatever. Taylor with 2 hours writes in. He says, I don't have much to say, but you guys and gals are awesome, and your interviews have been killing it lately. I'm always surprised when I see a brewery that I've never heard of and think to myself, who the fuck are these nobodies? Then after the show, I'm thinking, damn, I need to try this beer. It's way too risky these days to pick up a random 6-pack from someone you've never heard of and hope your $10 to $15 will be well spent on quality beer. First of all, never pay $15 for a 6-pack, dude. That's too much. Keep on keeping on. Right? $15 for a 6-pack? That's too much, right?
I wouldn't do that.
Just pass it up.
Especially a gamble.
Yeah. No, there's no way, dude. I have a hard time paying $10 for a 6-pack, but whatever. Brandon writes in. He says, hey, dill holes. Which is a hole that you store your dill in, I guess, for spices, for fish, for like salmon and tartar sauce and stuff like that.
And for like pickling.
And for
right?
pickling,
yeah.
right. Yeah, for sure. Good take, Beth. I just want to say that I'm glad to see that you're not going soft on breweries like Golden Road and Lagunitas just because they've been friends of the show. I don't think Golden Road's ever been a friend of the show.
Well, Meg has been on a couple times.
That's true. But I consider Jeremy a much bigger friend of the show.
Sure, yes.
I think that the future of craft beer is in serious jeopardy, and people are really start taking what is happening seriously. People better really start taking it happen. You better take it happen seriously.
I'm ready to happen to take it bitter seriously.
Seriously. Take bitter seriously. It helps when people, it helps when, quote, respected people, I appreciate the quote, such as yourselves, call these people out on their bullshit. Also tell Tasty to get somewhere in the vicinity of the mic. It always sounds like he's in another room. Great show, guys. Cheers from Brandon Martin. What do you have to say to that, Tasty?
What? I'm in another room.
There you go.
I'll be right.
Did you say something?
Oh, I'm back in. Okay,
you're back
good.
in.
Here we go.
You jumped back in.
Welcome back.
Jeremiah says it's not recommended to. This is about rice. Apparently, we were talking about rice on the last show, about like brewing with rice and how someone was like you shouldn't wash it or you should wash it, but sometimes
rice hulls.
Yeah, rice hulls.
We did mention that.
This guy, Jeremiah says, it's not recommended to rinse the general American market rice, Uncle Ben's, etc., due to a process of cleaning the rice, which removes the minerals and vitamins. Then there's a process to reapply minerals and vitamins, which would be rinsed off if you washed as you would a more natural, virgin product, such as you would normally come across with at an Asian market in 25-pound sacks, for example.
Thank you, Rain Man.
Okay. I'm not drinking my beer for the nutrients that are on the rice hulls.
I don't recall why I heard this, so I might be complete bullshit.
Oh, what he said about the minerals and everything.
The whole last 2 run-on sentences. I purchase in fat sacks and rinse with warm tap water until generally clear. There's a cool trick about cooking rice with a relative amount of water on top of the rice, which yields quality rice every time. For my rice cooker, it's about 1 centimeter, regardless of how much rice I load in there. Cool trick, and I avoid measuring out water in rice for 15 years now.
I'm going to leave the room.
And then he links to an article about what he just said.
Get the wrong show,
to Lifehacker, how to measure rice to water ratio using your finger.
I think we have a winner to the California Craft Beer Summit.
Thanks for the endless hours of bullshit to listen to while working, which has perhaps improved my beer. Jeremiah the Rice King. Perhaps. He doesn't know.
Well, thank you for that information that could be true.
And
we're going to have to fact check this.
But will literally never be helpful to any of us.
No. Although, I don't know, whatever. Okay, and the last but not least, Michael, he writes with a lot of numbers, and I don't understand. Last week's show was quite entertaining, if not disturbing. I hope we get an update rating with non-bullshit data from Doc, Jamil, etc. Okay, it's not last show, but...
the death pool. The boys are back in town.
Was that tasty? Was that your phone?
Yeah.
My God! It sounded like he was taking like a fucking like a Sawzall to a nail or something. It's all right. I was looking at my odds of winning the upcoming Homebrew for Life contest with Great Fermentations, and then laughed, and then I cried at how abysmal the odds are. As of today, the probability of winning, he gave me winning or losing odds. I don't know. Whatever. Hey, dude. Even if your odds are 0.00004%. The odds are pretty good. There's still a chance.
Of dying?
No, of winning the Great Fermentations thing, which I think is over now. I wonder who won. Should figure that out.
Yeah, weren't they going to announce that at NHC? Or HomebrewCon?
HomebrewCon. But then I remembered and compared those odds to the odds of Justin and Jason dying before everyone else at the BN, and I was somewhat speechless at how brutal those numbers felt. Yeah, me too, dude. I know we can all joke about it, but I just want to say thank you for all the blood, sweat, and tears you have all put into making the BN what it is today. It has brought a lot of value and goodness into my life. I have learned so much and passed so much time listening to you all. I decided to finally become a private in the BN Army. Thank you, dude. That's very nice of you.
Appreciate that.
Cheers. I hope your deaths are swift and painless, and I hope you enjoy the precious time we all have. Michael.
Well, it's nice that he got that in while you are still here.
I think so, too. Yeah. It's very nice. Very, very lovely. Okay, I had some other stuff to talk about, but I think we're going to take a break, Warren. So that means we should do a Twitter game.
Yeah, okay.
And the Twitter game is brought to you by the iDip, the Smart Brew Water Testing Kit. Test smarter, brew better, the iDip.
So I don't know if you know this, but the iDip can do over 40 different tests on your water, or whatever you want to dip it in, I guess.
Right.
They asked us, since we're giving one away, to come up with a new test, and they want to know what it should be. So I'm passing the buck off to the Twitter sphere.
Okay.
Yeah.
So iDip, the people at iDip are asking us for to design a new test. What should it be?
Yeah. Like tasty? Maybe whether or not to know.
Awake or not? How about that?
Or
the answer is always no.
Will this beer win a medal in the second round of the NHC?
Yeah. I'm thinking venereal disease, but sure, you could do that too.
I think mine's more useful.
I don't know. If you're on like Tinder or Grindr or Bumble or whatever, if the iDip could test for venereal disease, you would see more bars just stock that in the bathroom. You know, you can pay $0.25 for like the condom or whatever. Yeah. Here's an iDip strip.
Get your own iDip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be great. Here, lady, pee in this cup. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, pee in here.
I think it'd be good, man. But yes, very good game, Warren. I appreciate that. I'm excited to hand out this iDip that I trucked all the way back from HomebrewCon. It's the session, everyone. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back with Greg from Blue Jacket Brewing in D.C.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Are you a member of the White Labs Customer Club? If not, you should be. It's the easiest way to earn free stuff for turning in your old homebrew labels from either Vials or Pure Pitch. All you have to do is save your labels and redeem them for things like free yeast, an exclusive White Labs t-shirt or sweatshirt, and even the opportunity to brew with the yeast man himself, Chris White. Signing up is easy. Just go to whitelabs.com/customer club, fill out the registration form, and then mail in your labels. They will return the favor by sending you awesome White Labs swag. Go sign up today at whitelabs.com/customer club. White Labs, pure yeast and fermentation since 1995.
The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
Do you like beer? They make beer.
Watch out!
Do you like friends and fun? They make friends and fun.
Watch out!
Do you still like to have a good time? The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
The 21st Amendment in San Francisco, located at 563 2nd Street, 2 blocks from the building where baseball is seen and played. Try their beers in the pub or try them in the can, featuring
Monk's Blood.
Made with real monk.
Watch out!
So why not have the best time of your life? Go to the 21A and Sean O'Sullivan will personally greet you with a can of
Monk's Blood. The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
This advertisement is not in any way affiliated nor associated with the 21st Amendment Bar and Pub, nor its subsidiaries or affiliates. This telecast is not copywritten by the 21st Amendment for the private use of the Brewing Network. Any use of this telecast without Jamil Zainashev's consent is prohibited. Suck it, JP.
Brewing great beer is a process of continuous learning, and the best books on every aspect of brewing can be found at Brewers Publications, with more than 50 awesome titles like Modern Homebrew Recipes by Gordon Strong, Designing Great Beers, the Ultimate Guide to Brewing Classic Beer Styles by Ray Daniels, American Sour Beers, Innovative Techniques for Mixed Fermentations by Michael Tonsmeyer, For the Love of Hops, The Practical Guide to Aroma, Bitterness, and the Culture of Hops by Stan Hieronymus, and Radical Brewing, Recipes, Tales, and World-Altering Meditations in a Glass by Randy Mosher, plus many, many more. These are the books and the authors with the knowledge to push your brewing farther than you thought possible. And you'll find them all at fine homebrew and book retailers everywhere. And visit the website at brewerspublications.com. Brewers Publications, all the best on beer and brewing.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
Marin Brewing Company in Northern California has been making award-winning beers for more than 25 freaking years. Today, I want to tell you about their new 12-ounce cans of Mount Tam Pale Ale. The good stuff, Mount Tam is bright gold, 5.5% ABV to keep you feeling good, and has been winning awards since 1989. If you're visiting the Bay Area, get your butt out to Marin Brewing Company. They pour tasty beers and serve great food every day until midnight. Come in for a tour, stay for the food, and pick up a 6-pack of cans of Mount Tam Pale Ale to enjoy at home, camping, biking, or whatever the hell you do. Owner Brendan Moylan has this to say about Marin Brewing beers.
It's freaking awesome.
Marin Brewing has won more than 100 gold medals in international competitions. Check out marinbrewing.com for all their award-winning beers, food, and merch. Marin Brewing Company in Larkspur, California. Award-winning taste, refreshing finish. It's freaking awesome.
This is Corey King from Side Project Brewing, and you're listening to The Session on the Brewing Network.
All right, everyone. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm drinking a beer that's like everything I hate about session IPAs right now. I won't say who brewed it, but it's like it's supposed to be a pale ale, and it's thin and tastes like celery. It's very bad.
Pop tea.
Just so you guys know, it is time to replace that old dog-eared copy of John Palmer's How to Brew. Our friends at Brewers Publication have just published the 4th edition of How to Brew, and it's essentially a totally new book. The 4th edition clocks in at 600 pages, and every chapter has been updated and expanded, and there are 5 totally new chapters. Whether you want simple, surefire instructions to make your first beer, or if you're a seasoned home brewer working with all-grain batches, this book has something for you. You bet your bottom dollar. From ingredients and methods to recipes and equipment for brewing beer at home, How to Brew is loaded with valuable information on brewing techniques and recipe formulation. Grab your copy at your preferred beer book vendor today, or buy it from the Brewers Association store if you want to get the book and support craft breweries at the same time. More info is over at brewerspublications.com.
That's my favorite book.
Yeah.
I love it.
Apparently, it's something called John Palmer Week this week.
Oh.
There's a commercial floating around Facebook, and it's amazing. They filmed it at HomebrewCon.
Oh, they did?
I watched them filming some of it. Like, they filmed a little bit of it at our booth.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It's pretty great.
It's pretty great?
Are there special events happening around the nation for John Palmer Week?
I don't know. I noticed John Palmer Week's only 4 days long, which I feel like is a ripoff to the guy. But
well, maybe he's not known for his stamina.
Maybe not. He's shorter than everybody else. You did see how he took that digger at B&A, whatever the hell it was.
I still think about that and it makes me cringe.
I forgot all about it until just right now when I'm replaying that image of him just boom.
Maybe that's when his week went from 7 to 4 days.
Yeah, maybe he's like, look, guys, I appreciate it, but I'm getting older now. Anyway, we should have on the line Greg from Blue Jacket Brewing. Greg, are you with us?
Doesn't sound like it.
Greg. All right, no Greg. That's disappointing. Bev, would you mind giving him a ring?
I will take care of it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
I want to
that.
give a shout out today to Jamil. It's his birthday. Happy birthday,
right.
Jamil.
Happy birthday, Jamil.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
When's it going to be Jamil Zanishev week?
Yeah, he needs a week, doesn't he? He could probably do 5 to maybe 7 days.
Oh, we all need a week. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? I should get a week after this amazing intro to the book to John Sitzmankiewicz his book.
You probably should.
Maybe we should read it before deciding if you get a week or not.
No, actually, I need you to buy it sight unseen. I need you to pre-order that motherfucker.
Okay, just to read you.
Yeah, no, who cares about what John says?
I might.
No. Look, I'll tell you what.
It's a big job.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to bypass John entirely. Look, if you come to me and you want to open a brewery, I've already read the book. I will tell you what you need to know, and it will be I'll charge you $10 an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
You'll sum it up. Give me the Cliff Notes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I should bypass. I am the middleman.
That's all you need to know.
Well, we actually just had an issue come up at the brewery.
Okay.
For trademark issues. We haven't been open a year, and someone else copied a name.
Okay.
So what would you/John have me do?
I would potentially I would hack their Facebook page.
Okay.
And then I would start talking a bunch of shit about your brewery.
Through their Facebook page.
Right, because you want to set a legal precedent, right, for like attacks.
Sure.
And then I would burn your brewery down, and that way the cops will go, well, do you have any enemies? And you'll be like, these motherfuckers over at like Tired Shoelace Brewing.
Yeah.
That's why he wrote the forward. You're getting the idea, aren't you? He knows this shit.
It's about the long game, dude.
Should I take an insurance policy out first before burning the brewery down?
Yeah, but I wouldn't do that. I would wait 6 months. If you're going to take an extended policy, I would wait 6 months because you don't want to be like too... the next once the policy kicks in, then you don't want to burn the place down. That's too...
Okay. Right.
That's how you get caught, Warren.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So basically just get the insurance money.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Chapter 5.
Yeah, Chapter 5. That's exactly right.
That seems
how
like
to
something
burn your place down without getting caught.
That seems like something John would say.
Yeah. By John Sitzmankiewicz.
Maybe you should read the book, just skip the forward.
Number 6, Chapter 6.
Don't skip the forward. No, you got
how to embezzle your money from your partners, from your business partners.
Hey, somebody's got to.
I think this would be amazing.
You're the first one to do it, right?
Yeah, I think these would be amazing. No luck, Bev? It's weird because he picked up. Like, someone, like, connected the phone, but...
I think it went to his voicemail.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. Hey, we got a lot to talk about. We can talk
you
about
guys can keep talking, and I'm going to keep trying.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's do a little NHC/HomebrewCon rundown, because we did a kind of a lot to talk about, which is one of the reasons I don't like taking a week off, because you kind of forget about all the weird stuff.
That's true.
I thought this year's HomebrewCon, Tasty, check me if you agree. I thought the beers the homebrewers made they were good, but they seemed much more creative. Like there were like weird ingredients and
there were more fringe sort of beers.
Yeah, which was cool. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
I thought the beers were better than normal. I mean, what I would expect for them.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think, what is hanging off your thing? Is that a bad thing?
Yeah, it's kind of like...
Oh, geez. Okay. This whole studio's falling apart.
This whole studio's in bad shape.
Yeah, we went to this one booth, and I apologize, I forget the club name, but they had like 4 Randalls, and they had like a beer going through 4 different kind of Randalls, and one was like Butterfingers.
Yeah.
And it tasted like a fucking Butterfinger. They packed a Randall full of Butterfingers, dude. And I was like, what? And they're like, you should try the beer. It's great. You should try this. Come on. I'm like, okay. And like, that first sip of an experimental beer where you go, I don't know. Like, I don't know. And it hits
you're bracing yourself.
Yeah. And you're like, okay, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
What style beer was it? Butterfinger beer?
They did a peanut butter stout, I believe, base.
Porter, probably, yeah.
Or peanut butter porter, peanut butter stout, and then they needed to get that fresh Butterfinger flavor, so they crushed up a bunch of Butterfingers in a Randall.
Right?
Yeah.
And just run it through that, and it tasted just like a Butterfinger.
So that's chocolate covered, right? So
yeah.
The cool beer probably wasn't breaking down it might have been breaking down some of the chocolate. But it's the internal nugget that it's probably
I think you're getting the shit that gets caught in your teeth. I think that's the flavor.
So
that
how
you're
did the beer
getting.
look in the glass? Was it like floaties? Was there peanut?
No, there's no floaties because there's a filter.
It's filters.
I didn't really look at it also. So
yeah, I didn't notice any significant floaties. It was a little hazy. Like it picked up some particles, but nothing big.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What other Randalls did they have going? Do you remember?
I don't because that kind of shit freaks me out. Like stuff in Randalls, like I go, how long has that been sitting there? You got the
gloves when you crush that up.
To club night kind of late. It's been 3 hours. What's happening? I don't know. Weird stuff.
Yeah, I was excited. I found English bitter on cask.
Really?
At club night.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I went back 3 or 4 times.
Nice.
It was kind of my palate cleanser.
That was your spot.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wish I knew that.
It was really good.
I went to the Pico Brew booth, and they had a chicken beer which tasted like roasted chicken, and they had a waffle beer which tasted like syrup, and then you can ask them for both together, and then it tasted like chicken and waffles, which made me very excited and very angry at the same time.
Why were you angry?
Because it's like crossing the streams in Ghostbusters, where you don't think it should work, and then you do it, and then it works, but you hate that it worked because it was a gamble. It was like that.
You don't want to like it, but you do.
Yes. Well, I wouldn't say I liked it. I think that they accomplished what they were trying to do.
Okay.
Which, and that was like a thing, right? And so their thing is always like a short order cooks, right?
Yeah.
So they write the thing down, they scream out the thing and whatever, right? And it's cute and clever and whatever. And that was kind of what it is. So you ask for a blend, they go, blend! And they hand your glass down to the short order cooks, and they blend it together, and they hand it back to you.
Was that where they were pulling the beers out of pig teats?
No,
Different booth.
Different booth.
Those are the guys from Iowa. Yeah. How do they do the chicken beer? They stick a chicken in the...
I didn't ask. I feel like I should call Annie and just ask her right now.
Well, let's see.
I have a feeling there's no chicken involved.
No, it's probably letting me some...
We don't have anybody else on the phone.
You weren't able to get him?
I'm working on it. My phone's ringing. This could be promising.
All right.
Like the powdered chicken broth might be something you would start with, maybe.
Oh, like bouillon or something?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. And then, that would probably be a start. Then, like more of like at least some salt character, I would think, like maybe a Goza kind of thing or something.
I feel like Annie's done chicken beers before. I think there was an NHC in San Diego where she handed me one.
I think it was they did the same kind of thing.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
So it might be their thing, man.
Oh, okay.
Should brew those Johns up.
Yeah. throw your chicken in some beer.
But that was cool. I thought Club Night was really cool. Chip Walton from Chop and Brew, his buddy Abstract Artemis played some rock and roll. And I was it with you?
Yeah.
I was walking
when they started. Yeah,
when they started, I leaned over to Warren. I was like, this is not going to work, dude, because this dude's like straight rock and roll, dude.
Oh, yeah,
like
Southern rock.
Tight pants, boots, long hair, whatever, screaming into the microphone.
Denim jacket.
And like 30 seconds after they start playing, like crowd kind of goes near the stage, and it was perfect. Maybe it was a little loud, because I'm going to be 40 soon. Yeah. But it was perfect. It was perfect for the event. I thought it was great.
The album cover, before I even heard them play, I almost bought it just based on the album artwork that they had. It was so bizarre. It was a guy sitting in a room full of random shit, and he just had a just blank 1,000-mile stare with the lead singer with his long southern greasy hair and beard.
It was a skullet.
Yeah, it definitely was. I just wanted it for that.
I thought he was good, man. He was jumping around and doing a bunch of shit, and I thought for sure, I would have bet money that people would have like walked away and there would have been nobody around. But apparently he like stage dove, or there were people holding him up or something. People were into it.
Oh yeah,
which was really cool. So
he had some good moves. Some high kicks and
did.
No,
some
he's
power
been
stances.
on the stage before. You can tell he does.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Beverly.
Good show.
Jake Keeler. couldn't remember his name.
Handsome
like
Jake Keeler?
Singing along with him. Like, he knew them.
Yeah.
Well, so did Chip. Yeah, they're all from the same.
Yeah, they're all from the same area.
Weird.
Yeah.
There was also this lady who was like 60, like dancing. It was amazing.
She's getting down.
They don't make fun of old people.
Yeah. Sorry, Tasty. You weren't dancing.
Right. Well, he's too old.
I was drinking.
Yeah. Why?
Right.
This reminds me of the time I saw Y&T at the county fair. I don't know, man. HomebrewCon, I had a good time.
It was good. It's a great time. Yeah. And that's a nice venue, too, I thought. It was a lot of space. So
it was it was really cool. And then so we're setting up for the award ceremony, and it's in. So you go in the conference hall, and the expo floor is over here on one side, and then it's probably a 5-minute walk to the amphitheaters, maybe a 2-minute walk, whatever. And they had I think 3 amphitheaters, a smaller ones, and the main one. But the smaller ones, they rotate, they spin, they rotate out to make the larger one even larger.
Whoa!
So for the award ceremony, like if you looked back, the kind of tiers when the seats are going up,
right?
That spun around. That was an acoustic wall. And
really?
Yeah. So that was one of the amphitheaters that the conference was in. So
Transformers.
Yeah, it's kind of modular, man. It took a minute for that thing to just entirely spin around. It was going really slowly.
Was anybody riding it?
No.
Oh.
No, but I really wanted to.
Yeah.
I thought it was really neat, man.
Yeah. And there were no tornadoes. They kept their weather down to a minimum.
I was nervous about it, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because every day, when you wake up, and I was looking out the window, it was like just cloudier and cloudier. I'm like, oh, man, it's going to be so bumpy leaving. And it was bumpy.
Yeah,
but
the Sunday before, because I went out early, there was a really serious thunderstorm with like dime-sized raindrops, just like smacking you in the head.
Really?
Yeah, I walked in for about 100 feet in it. Yeah, it looked like I just jumped in a lake.
Wow,
it was just like I was soaked. It was a crazy storm.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah, so I was hoping that you might get some of that when you were there, but it toned down a lot.
Yeah, we got a little rain, but not much. Yeah. I was kind of surprised at how warm it was, to be honest with you. It was like, mid 70s at like 1 in the morning, or 3 in the morning.
It doesn't cool off in that like it does.
No, I brought like 2 jackets, not a jacket, but like a zippy and like a polo, like a light hoodie, right? Because I'm from California, and past 9 o'clock, no matter what, right, it's kind of generally colder, but didn't have to wear them.
And the humidity wasn't crazy.
No, it was really good, man. Yeah, and I'll tell you, it was good to get out and explore the city, which we never really get to do as part of the BN because we're always on the booth. Hang on, Bev. I just saw her mouth. Oh shit! For me? No.
Oh.
All right, cool.
Just going for a walk.
Yeah, just walking around. So that was really cool. So we got to go to some other places around the city and like.
Yeah. Did you get out to Surly's?
Bar? No, we didn't go to Surly. At least I didn't go to Surly.
Nice.
We went to a place called had the Ferris wheel?
No, Betty Dangers.
Betty Dangers. Yeah, it was like a 9-hole mini golf, or not even 9-hole, probably like 3-hole mini golf, and crazy. And they had like a smaller version of a Ferris wheel.
Yeah,
even probably smaller than like a county fair. It was kind of tiny.
Yeah, I'd say like 50 feet tops.
Yeah,
at the top.
It was kind of cool. I thought that you could ride it for free with your meal.
That's why we went.
Yeah, but apparently it was $6, and I think only 3 people. That's the right number.
Yeah. I've seen rooftops before, so I didn't need to do that.
I saw all this shit flying in. I don't need to pay $6 to see it again very slowly.
Yes.
But we did that, and then we went down to this tiki bar called Psycho Susie's Motor Lounge.
Motor Lounge?
There's a motor lounge.
Oh, I missed that part.
Which was really cool. It was rad. They have a giant patio, and their drinks are pretty good.
Right on the old Mississippi.
Right on the mighty Mississippi.
Yeah.
I have to tell Blobber all the time. It's the mighty Mississippi. You can't say anything else. You have to say the word mighty. That's just the way it goes. I was really blown away by the place, and a few of us stayed afterwards to eat.
Yeah.
Lauren and you and me and Blobber and Sam.
Right.
And we got some more drinks and the cheese curds. Now, we've heard a lot, especially from Sully, about cheese curds in the Midwest and how they're the best, and you got to get the squeaky kind, I guess. Have you ever heard this, Tasty?
Never heard these terms.
I don't know about squeaky.
It's like when you eat them, they squeak. Yeah, I don't know either. To me, it's the batter that they fry the goddamn things in.
Yeah, it's unique.
That's what it is. And apparently on the menu, the Psycho Susie's cheese curds are blue ribbon winning at the State Fair.
Yeah.
Which we've heard you go on and on about that. That's like where you go for breaded fried stuff.
Yeah, if you want anything fried, liquid nitrogen frozen, whatever you need. Whatever you need.
They got it.
They have it there.
Oh, man.
There's cheese curds. I went back for seconds and thirds at the State Fair. And I think I even had them twice at Psycho Susie's.
My God. Dude, they were amazing. They were really, really good.
Yeah.
And I have a weird anxiety, but I have a high cholesterol. So it's like
double
based in science is my anxiety, I suppose.
Sure.
But I was like, I'm eating all these, dude, and I'm going to die right now. I'm going to die. I'm going to walk back to the...
And you were almost okay with it.
I was almost fine with it. But it's interesting going to a place where like you really like, and then we went back again and with like a larger group, and we had like the worst service imaginable, and it was just the weirdest, like the drinks weren't very good, and it was kind of not the same. So I think if you're going to travel, go to a place once and then just say you really liked it and never go back.
If it was great, don't try it again.
You'll be disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Bev or Kate, the Great, maybe, or someone like looked up a review. Maybe it's even you. Who knows? You all look the same.
Yes.
That was like they have okay food and the drinks aren't great or something like that.
Really?
But the atmosphere is cool. And I'm like, yeah, I would say that. The food was actually pretty good. The drinks were just okay as far as tiki drinks go. They didn't blow me away. They were kind of muddled. The flavors were kind of muddled. I had the same drink twice. And then I tried someone else's who had the same drink that I'd got.
Right.
All candies, actually.
Yes.
All 3 were different. They were the same fucking drink. Right. All 3 of them were different. Like, candies was very strawberry. Mine was very pineapple.
Right.
And the third one was like booze. And I'm like, what is this, dude?
Yeah. But the patio on the river is a nice place to sit and have a drink.
It was really cool.
You guys were on the patio?
Yeah.
Yeah, we went on the patio the first time. Yeah, it was cool, man. And you can see the sunset over the mighty Mississippi.
Oh, right. Yeah. Raging away.
Yeah. Did you get out anywhere, Tasty?
Yeah, I went out to Surly's. Went to a couple other places. Let's see. Went to Surly's twice, actually.
Okay.
And then I went down to the, of course, the place up the street, the Brit.
The Brit was like...
We were there a couple of nights, I think.
Yeah. The Brit was kind of the place, man. Mm-hmm. Which apparently that place has 3 stories.
I was on 2 of them.
Yeah,
I didn't find a third.
There's like a top. So at the patio, Blobber and I went there for dinner one night, and it was like you kind of once you go out of the patio, the lawn they have lawn bowling, right?
Right.
To the left, there's kind of a swooping staircase that goes up, like a wrought iron staircase.
Wow!
And there's like a patio up there.
Watch the bocce ball.
Huh.
It's cool, man.
They never told us about the top patio.
So here's the thing about Minnesota. I've noticed that the service in Minnesota is kind of bad. But in bad from a standpoint of like a Californian, right? Where like you got to be on top of your Johns if you want a tip. But but in Minnesota, it's kind of just like we're gonna just forget about you, and you know if you want a drink, you can flag me down, and if you want your check, good luck, because I'm not gonna bring it out to you.
Well, it's a low pressure situation. They're not gonna push push their product on you.
Right, apparently, yeah. But I kind of want a little bit of that because I don't want to flag you down for every single thing. I just come back and check, or then if you ask me if I want the check and I say yes, don't take 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, why is it taking so... Like, that was the longest part of our meal time.
Well, but they also were breaking it down. They were splitting checks every single time, which is nice.
Which I thought
but it would add to the time.
Right. Yes. And that was something else I noticed. Like, in California, especially in the Bay Area, if you ask to split a check, sometimes for certain party sizes, you can't. Like, over 6 people, you not only get an 18% gratuity automatically tacked on, but there's no splitting checks.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit. But here we had like 10 people. Oh, you want me to split that out for you? Yeah, dude, that'd be great. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I thought that was very nice.
Yeah. Sometimes it was even just assumed. They brought them all separate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's even better.
Right.
So I did like that.
So it takes a little longer, but they're more convenient for everybody when you're traveling in large groups.
I agree. What I really like, though, is all the lagers.
So good.
Our first night there, we walked into a bar that had something called Lager Fest tasting.
Good timing.
And it was like 15 lagers. Mm-hmm. It was like, and you would never see this in the Bay Area or even on the West Coast.
Right.
Maybe like in Portland at like some weird, funky tap room. But you would never see this. And it made me very happy.
Yeah, it was a great first night.
It really was.
Welcome to Minnesota.
Yeah, man. And even in the airport, I was drinking a Helles. And I was like, I'm kind of almost over it, but I need to keep driving it into my face because I'm never going to get this again.
Savor it.
Yeah, but as a result of that trip, on July 17th, we have Jace from August Shell coming on.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And I didn't know that he's, like, his family owns it.
Yeah, he's like 6th generation.
Yeah, I had no idea. They bought it in 1911. Because I emailed him. I was like, hey, so blah, blah, here's the thing. By the way, do you happen to know any history on the place? Because it's the one of, if not the oldest operating brewery in the country or something like that? Second.
Yuengling is the only one ahead of them.
And he's like, well, yeah, I grew up here and my family. I'm like, oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Felt like an idiot for not knowing, but how am I supposed to know?
Yeah.
He's a guy who knows. That's great.
Yeah, but we're going to try to get him hooked up with like some distributors to like have a keg of Helles on tap.
Oh, man.
Which I think would be amazing.
Oh, please.
That would be
right?
amazing.
I think it'd be so good, man.
I'll just drive back there, pick it up, and then bring it back.
I would go with you. I think that'd be fun. Where did oh, here it is right there.
It's a beautiful brewery, too. It's the original brewery. They have the old family mansion and flower gardens there, and you can see the river where they used to pull ice out for the lagering caves.
Wow. Really?
There's a lot of history there. It's cool to see.
I want to go back. I was talking to Juno from BSG, and he was like, yeah, dude, come back. We'll go to like the malt plant or whatever. I was like, I would love to do that.
Yeah, that's a brand new malt facility there, like a year or two old, maybe.
I wonder if how can we get the BN to send us out there?
I'll get BSG to pay us to go.
Well, Justin's not here to say no.
So, Bev, you got a card, right?
Justin might not be here, but I am.
Oh. Wow.
She would like saying no to us.
Daddy's not here, but Mommy is.
I miss Daddy.
Shut up and call the guest.
I'm doing it right now. Jeez. But anyway, I liked NHC. I thought it was a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
Great time. Loved it.
It was good to be back in Minnesota.
It really was, man. More importantly, I got to go out and experience things.
Right.
I was really excited. Oh, we went to a distillery, too.
Yes. You're wearing it.
Distillery. I was hoping you were going to wear this shirt. I was hoping you were going to wear it because we got the same color
coordinated.
Shirt. Anyway, I should have Greg on. Greg, are you here, bud?
Yes, I am.
All right. How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing, brother?
Perfect. Sorry for the miscommunication there, but
it was my fault.
We're on. That was the implication. The miscommunication is code for Bev screwed up. Bevo bad.
Bevo bad.
Another Bevo bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, thanks for joining us, Greg. I appreciate it, man.
My pleasure.
Yeah. So you are with Blue Jacket Brewing, and you're in D.C. Are you the head brewer there?
Well, no. I'm actually the beer director for the neighborhood restaurant group. And, you know, we're known for places like Church Key, Birch and Barley, the Sovereign. But Blue Jacket, I'm really heavily involved with as well. And I work hand in hand with our brewmaster. His name is Ro Gunzel.
Okay.
And, yeah, we're having a lot of fun.
That sounds great, man. That sounds awesome. So I did see your bio. And how did you get into beer as a young guy? I know that your dad was into craft beer early on, which is cool. But how did you start getting a taste for it?
Well, I mean, it's kind of a crazy story. I mean, I was drinking craft beer, but not really interested in it beyond the intoxicating properties for a long time. But then I moved down to D.C. 15 years ago now. I was supposed to be an English professor, believe it or not, and I was studying at Georgetown. But I got kind of lured away by a place called the Brickskeller. I don't know if you all know what that place was, but it was the original beer bar in the U.S. It opened in 1957. At one time had the most commercially available beers in the world. Wow. An amazing place. So I'd never waited tables before back in 2004, excuse me. I started waiting tables there and just fell in love with it. And before I knew it, I was withdrawing from graduate school, diving headlong into craft beer, and away we went.
Now, I did see that you went to school in Europe. You went to school in Germany for a bit, and I think it was Ireland. What were you studying over there?
In Ireland at Trinity College in Dublin, I was studying English literature, and then I was doing German language and literature in Munich. But it was really cool. I was exposed to a lot of flavors at the time that it was amazing. I mean, the introduction to Bavarian wheat beer and unfiltered lagers, Keller beers, and things like that. Back when I was young, laid a great base, and then by the time I got to DC and started pushing for all this stuff, I had a lot of things to kind of recall, which is cool.
Yeah, so when you came back and you're used to, like you said, discovering all these flavors, was it kind of a wasteland when you showed back up and you're not, like for me, when I came back from Minnesota even, which is not that far away, there's not a whole lot of Helles beer around here, and I feel there's a very lack of that flavor. Was that something that you were kind of searching for out here?
Yeah, I was. It's crazy. I mean, so I went to Middlebury College up in Vermont. So even before I studied overseas, I was kind of spoiled with craft beer back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, we had Otter Creek, Long Trail. I was going up to Burlington and drinking at the Vermont Pub and Brewery, Greg Noonan's place. I was kind of spoiled in Vermont. And then when I got to D.C., we didn't have much local brewing going on. But like I said, this place, the Brickskeller, was ground zero for craft beer. I mean, this is the place that brought Cantillon, Schlenkerla, Rochefort into the U.S. for the first time.
Wow!
It's where I met Michael Jackson. I mean, this is where Michael Jackson used to do all of his tastings. So I mean, yeah, I was spoiled. Like I said, they had over 2,000 commercially available beers in 2004. So it was this kind of bright light among a kind of dearth of craft beer. So it was amazing.
That's cool, man. And, so we talk about, sometimes, well, especially with like August Shell, for example, walking into a place like that and feeling the history just in the walls, or even like taking the Anchorstein tour out here, right? I get that sense. Yeah. Was that something that was, when you kind of walked into to that pub and you're like, wow, I could, feel the beer vibes or whatever here?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And so it's the Brickskeller. Fortunately, it changed hands recently, but this was a place where the first kind of sit-down beer tasting was held. I think it was like in 1983 or so in the United States.
Wow!
So it just reeks of history. I mean, this is where Michael Jackson did his annual tastings. It was just an incredible thing. And I learned a ton there, and when I struck out on my own with the neighborhood restaurant group, and we built Church Key and Birch and Barley in D.C., it was indebted a lot to what we learned at the Brickskeller, but then we were also trying to take it to the next level. So, beyond selection at Church Key and at Birch and Barley, we were the first ones to introduce temperature controls on draft beer. A number of places do that today, but back in 2009, that was something that was kind of unheard of. So, we've been really able to make a lot of cool things and innovate a lot in DC.
Jeez, well, thank you for one, man. And it's funny because it's still hard sometimes to find that. But definitely the beer scene would not be in the same place it is without refrigeration and without people actually trying to take care of the beer that they're selling and passing on to consumers. I also read that you're a sommelier.
Well, Well, yeah, I mean, loosely. I don't have like a master's sommelier or anything like that. But I mean, what I think is what really kind of came out of it is back in 2004, 2006, when I was working at the Brickseller. One thing that I noticed back then was that there were places that were purveying craft beer, but I really felt like the service level wasn't quite there yet. And then additionally, the kind of the idea of pairing beer and food together. Obviously, Garrett Oliver's a close friend of mine and a hero of mine. So I took a lot of direction from him when it came to beer and food pairing. But that was the idea, was to kind of strike out and afford beer the same kind of respect, attention, and care that sommeliers have been affording to wine for so many years. And so I kind of, was one of the first ones to kind of, mold the sommelier role from being exclusively with wine towards beer.
Do you think that we're, how do I phrase this? Do you think that we're there, or do you think that beer needs to be on the same level as wine? Do you think it has diverged a little bit in forging its own path?
Yeah, it's a fascinating subject that we could talk honestly for hours about, because I was when I first got started, the idea was there was some great craft beer out there, but it certainly wasn't as near anything we have today, and it certainly wasn't ubiquitous. But there was some great beer out there, and I felt like these brewers have been giving all this time, effort, pouring their hearts, their souls, and passion into the beer. But I felt like, on the service side, it wasn't really being repaid. So often you see these beautiful beers being poured on less than ideal draft lines, or not introduced with the storylines of the beer. People weren't building experiences and narratives around the beers. They weren't pairing it with food. So I really made that kind of my career goal, was to kind of bring that attention to the beer, and I think we've done a great job of that. Yeah. But to your point, I think along the way, what we definitely see now is that there's been a divergence, and I worry that, oftentimes today people are kind of fetishizing, the rare and the obscure, and frankly are far less concerned with how it's treated and far more concerned about collecting it and ticking it, trading it, lining up for it. To the point where if a beer is rare, people will chase it down, even if it's being poured on unclean lines, or even if it's being dispensed without any kind of service mentality behind it. So I think we have to kind of regroup now and try to bring that service element back to the beer, because it certainly seems like it's kind of an afterthought. I think the same could be said for food pairing. That hasn't really been. It was going strong for a long time, but it really has kind of slowed down. The Brewers Association keeps pushing. We hold Sabre in D.C. every year, but a lot of new places with great beers are just not attending to the kind of the ancillary things that I think account for the experience around beer, rather than just the ticking it off and moving on to the next one.
You said fetishizing, which I think is a great descriptor for it. Because we're relying on the internet now to tell us what is good and what isn't good. I mean, by I don't know, definition, I suppose, by loose definition, most craft beer is rare. You know what I mean? You can't. It's hard for a lot of breweries who are trying to supply their regional market and not worried about countrywide national distribution, right, or even statewide distribution. It's hard to go get that beer if you live in D.C. and you want to come out here for some Moonraker or whatever, right? For some small or some Rare Barrel or whatever, right? That's hard. It's hard to get. So, I think what is rare? Well, rare is some guy on the internet decides to post how amazing this oatmeal stout is, and then everyone should drink it, and then someone rates it a 5 out of 5 or whatever. You see where I'm going with that, right? Where we're eating our own young, I guess, as far as that goes. We want to have beer rating sites to help us out, but then we're relying on those sites to tell us what to drink now, and it's very much a role reversal.
Right, and the other thing I'd say about that is I think that, it's interesting, like when I got started 15 years ago, these things didn't exist, right? I mean, Beer Advocate and Rate Beer weren't there. I mean, Yelp wasn't there either, which we're restaurateurs, so that's a whole other thing, but it's related. I think that beer ratings are informative. I think they have their place, but to your point, yeah, I mean, what I'm finding now, which I think is very interesting and kind of distressing, is this whole idea of like of hype. And for every person out there that doesn't want to believe the hype, I find 100 that do. It's kind of like if you wait in line 4 hours for a beer, by the time you get it, you're pretty invested in loving it.
Right.
Especially if you'd read online that it's supposed to be really great. And we're seeing that now. I mean, I love, first of all, let me just say this. I love sweet stouts. I love hazy, juicy IPAs. So I'm not a hater on that or anything like that. I think these beers are phenomenal. But, and I really don't have a lot of problems with haze and some of the other things. So I'm not a classicist by any means. But that said, I've seen so many apologists for these kind of these cult breweries who will produce beer oftentimes in cans that are exploding sometimes or like are really like flocculent. And it's kind of one of those things. It's like by the time you get it and you've invested all these things in it, you want to love it. And I think that's there's objectivity is completely out the window at that point, and it's just a very bizarre kind of thing to watch.
It's easier to say that you like a beer than to admit that you just wasted 4 hours of your life.
Exactly.
That's very true. Man.
Or just like, I mean, I never thought I would see so many people. They'll have some of these rare cult breweries. And believe me, I love a lot of the beer that comes out of them. But like, they'll go and they'll get some great beers for a long time, and then a couple, ones will be really big mishaps, and they're totally cool with that. They're like, it's fine, it happens, it's part of the game, and I think in some ways I like that because I feel that most people are not very forgiving when it comes to beer and service and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't know, it just seems like everything's becoming on board. There's no real rules anymore, and it just seems like it's the ultimate in subjectivity going on these days.
Yeah, and I understand that, but I've heard some bartenders, tell stories about having consumers ask for the haziest, cloudiest beer that they have on tap, as if that is somehow a benchmark for quality. And that's what bothers me about it. It's the bastardization of the style and getting rid of all that kind of stuff. I can get over that. That's my grumpy old man kind of coming out and then realizing it's a fad. It's fine, but it very much reminds me of like the IBU wars of the early 2000s, where my beer has 90 IBUs. Well, my beer is 95. Well, my beer has 100. And then you go to festivals and you talk to brewers and they go like, all I get asked is which beer has the most IBUs.
Totally, yeah.
And I think that has kind of like changed the game. And in my opinion, that's one of the reasons we have all these IPAs now on the market, especially out here. It's that everyone thinks that IBUs equal good. And now it's hazy beer equals good, and the hazier, the murkier, the more like orange juice, the better. And that's not the case. And I'd be fine with that style if people would just admit that there's a lot of these beers that are awful. But some that people really like, and so I guess it's like what you're saying, you have to, I think, as beer drinkers, supporters of a community, we do have to be honest with each other and honest with ourselves, like, that beer isn't very good. And that's it. We don't have to burn it down or whatever, but anyway, sorry, I'm rambling on.
No, and I agree with all of that. And I mean, I can tell you stories from Blue Jacket. I mean, we do not intentionally we don't intentionally, add haze to the beer. So we're not throwing wheat starch in. We're not hitting it up, with apple puree to get pectin in there to give it more haze. We don't do any of that. But we serve our hoppy beers extremely fresh. Mm-hmm. We use a lot of protein-laden grains, and, we have some lower flocculating yeast. So oftentimes when we tap like a fresh batch of Lost Weekend or our Citra IPA or Turning Road, which is our Mosaic IPA, the first few hours is like mega haze. But as the hours in the day go on, it naturally settles in Bright Tank or in Keg. And I've had guests literally with the beer, hours between, when we tap it and when we're serving it and stuff, it will be getting less and less hazy, and the beer just tastes exactly the same. And guests are literally, I can tell they would much rather have that beer if it was hazier than when it's more clarified.
And does that drive you up the wall? It would drive me nuts. I'd put my head through the window, the nearest window I could find. As somebody who stands for quality and is trained in quality and producing a quality experience for someone, that would bug me, because it's no longer about the aesthetic. It's no longer about the flavor. It's about the aesthetic of the thing. And I don't know. That would bother me.
They want to be seen with the yeast sample,
right?
Yeah. It's nuts. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. The thing that you see it too, like with a lot of these heavily lactose, sweet stouts and beers that are really, really heavily fruited, typically through purees, the head retention, and lacto beers and stuff, the head retention is completely gone on these beers. And I even started to see a lot of them beauty shots of beers in glasses. They're not even pretending to have head anymore. I mean, they're poured literally all the way to the brim, looking as if they're flat beers. And I'm thinking that this is going to be the next possible, like you just mentioned, the next kind of aesthetic thing is that people are going to be looking for, really kind of flattish fruited sours and sweet stouts that are filled all the way to the top with little to no head. That's an indicator of the kind of flavors we're looking for.
Wow. Well, hey, let's get into the brewery real fast. Tell me about Blue Jacket. When did you guys open?
Let's see. We opened back in October of 2013.
Okay.
So we are almost 4 years old. We are in the Navy Yard neighborhood of Washington, D.C., and really cool historic space. It's a big, huge 73,000 square foot space. We only have 7,000 on the eastern end of it, but it's an old Boilermaker factory for the Navy, and the exterior is still in shape, but there's a lot of height in there. It goes up about 60 feet in the air, so we were able to get in there as the anchor business in this development and in the building, and we were able to have a blank slate and build this beautiful brewery. I mean, it's a glassed-in building, and we built the brewery on 3 levels, kind of like an old English, Victorian brewery, where the brew house itself, the hot side, is all the way up on the 3rd level, 50 feet in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And then we use gravity to bring the wort down to fermentation on level 2. And then we have brights and kegging on the ground floor, level 1. So when you sit in the space and you look up, you can see the entire brewing system kind of wrapping around you, hulking over you. 15-barrel system, 18 fermentation vessels, just so we have 20 beers on draft at all times. We have 5 cask scales made in-house. We sell a dozen bottles to go. And in part it's because we are about 3 blocks from National Stadium, our baseball team down here. We really crank, and we do about 2,500 barrels a year on site right now, which is pretty awesome.
That's cool. I was looking at photos on the website, and it's pretty massive, man. That's a huge space. I mean, at least it looks huge in the photos. But the tanks are there, and the tri-level brewing system looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Do you have an elevator for the brewers?
I'm sorry?
Do you have an elevator for the brewers?
Yeah, you know what? That was an oversight on our part, and but you will be happy to know that we mill in on the ground floor, and we have a system of augers that shoots the grist up to the 3rd floor, and then a system of augers to bring the spent grain down. So it isn't as horrible as it could be.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's great.
Taking grain down the steps.
Yeah, I know breweries who have a 2-level brewing platform that's 10 feet off the ground. They don't even have augers, and they hate it. I could only imagine hauling grain up for 3 flights of stairs. Do you have a fireman pole so they could slide down easily?
That would be cool. Maybe that'll be next.
Maybe that would be next.
Yeah, no, it's cool. We concentrate on diversity of styles, and we have a cool ship, so we do some spontaneous stuff. We work with a lot of local fruit, a lot of barrel aging, both on the non-sour and sour sides.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun thing. But it's cool. Like, and we make super juicy IPAs, we make fruited sours, and we make spiced sweet stouts. But we also make traditional lagers, and we brew traditional cask ale as well. So I think right now, if you walked in there, you'd have a classic English bitter, an Irish dry stout, a dark mild, and a brown porter, all on cask. So kind of trying to get the kind of the best of all worlds and something for every, not just palate, but every kind of beer drinker, whether you're more of a new wave drinker, an old curmudgeon. We have something for everybody.
Nice.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So, and speaking of that,
we were just talking about that.
We were just talking about me being an old curmudgeon. We're drinking the Forbidden Planet, which is a dry hopped Kolsch. I appreciate a good Kolsch for sure. What can you tell me about this beer?
This is one of the first beers we ever brewed, and it's become one of our 3 or 4 flagships. We make a lot of this. The idea basically was to brew a 100% kind of classic Kolsch, and then rather than serving it as just a standard old-fashioned, clean, crisp, refreshing Kolsch, to dry hop it pretty intensely with Galaxy hops. And while that seems kind of like obvious and probably almost banal today, 4 years ago, it was Galaxy hops were kind of lesser known. So it's a cool thing. And really what we were trying to do here was to find a nice, clean, low-alcohol vehicle for aromatic hops. At only about 4.2%, this kind of satisfies your hop cravings without getting you too messed up. And, it's kind of an old world meets new world, and it's a really tasty beer. We love it.
Yeah, I think the Galaxy choice is pretty good.
If you can get it, it's hard hop to get.
Is it hard to get?
Yeah.
I mean, it has that kind of like a light melon thing. I don't know too much about my hops, but like like a green melon. Yeah. I think that goes really well with the esters of the Kolsch.
Yeah, totally.
I like it. That's a good beer, man.
Yeah, it's not over hopped or anything. It's just a little hoppier for a Kolsch, but it's not like over hopped. It's great.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's not like a New England IPA Kolsch. It's just a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I'll tell you what, Greg, let's take a break real fast if you can hang on, and then we'll come back and we'll try the other 3 beers. Is that cool?
Sounds great.
All right, cool. Hang on just a second here. Before we go, just a reminder, Great Fermentations. They have the largest catalog of Blickman products on the web, and their staff is some of the best trained in the business using Blickman products. They offer top-notch customer service and same-day shipping on many, many items. Check them out, greatfermentations.com. They're also all over social media at GR8 Fermentation. That's greatfermentations.com. All right, everyone, hang on real fast. We're going to take a good beer break, and then we're going to come back and finish our conversation with Greg from Blue Jacket Brewing in Washington, D.C. Hang on. It's The Session. We'll be back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. The Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Your support of the Brewing Network means everything to us. We couldn't produce shows without you. And we love giving you something extra for that support, like Brew Your Own magazine. You already know it's a great brewing magazine full of recipes, equipment how-tos, discussions of beer styles, and brewing techniques. Whether you're new to brewing and just starting out or you're an old pro, you'll always learn something from the articles in Brew Your Own. Plus, they're amazing special issues like plans for building a Brutus 10 system, 250 classic clone recipes, and the Homebrewer's Answer Book. Brew Your Own magazine and BYO.com are awesome resources for any brewer. Whether for yourself or as a gift, when you subscribe or resubscribe from the Brewing Network homepage, you directly support programs like this. Get a great magazine and support the Brewing Network. Subscribe to Brew Your Own right from thebrewingnetwork.com. Do you know
know the three most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5-Star Chemicals. 5-Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5-Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5-Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star Sand, SaniClean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5-Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5-Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5-Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5-Star treatment today. Are you looking for a simple brewing system that's great for all grain brewing, but everything on the market seems to be full of compromises? Blickman Engineering has the answer. The Blickman Brew Easy All Grain Brewing System. The Brew Easy is a complete system with easy upgrades and a beautiful compact design, perfect for any size brewing location. At its core, the Brew Easy is built on two gorgeous Blickman Boilermaker brew kettles, a high-temperature March pump, and either a top-tier gas burner or the new Boil Coil electric heater. The Brew Easy adapter lid allows the pots to stack on top of each other, forming an efficient, strong, and compact brewing setup that comes in 5, 10, and 20-gallon batch sizes. Upgrade your Brew Easy system with full automated control by adding a Blickman Tower of Power temp controller and make moving around easy with the Blickman Kettle Cart. The Brew Easy is modular. If you already own a Boilermaker kettle, you can build your Brew Easy by purchasing just the modules you need. The new Brew Easy all-grain brewing system. See it today at BlickmanEngineering.com and brew with Blickman quality on your new Brew Easy. If you work in retail sales, the restaurant industry, or are a new craft beer enthusiast, or you know someone who is, you have got to check out Beer 101. Beer 101 is an online course created for anyone wanting a quick introduction to the vast world of craft beer. Beer 101 covers the history of beer, brewing ingredients and processes, vital stats like ABV, SRM, IBU, and gravity, styles, tasting, glassware, and pairing beer with food. The Beer 101 course is offered by the Brewers Association at craftbeer.com. Also home to the truly awesome Beer Style Finder, a visual guide to every beer style. Quickly play with color, bitterness, and alcohol content to interactively explore the entire world of beer styles with a gorgeously designed interface to your favorite beverage. The new Beer 101 course and new Beer Style Finder are only available at craftbeer.com. Craftbeer.com, celebrating the best of American beer.
Hi, this is Tyler from the Libertine Brewing Company on the Central Coast of California. You're listening to Brewing Network, The Session. It sucks. Does it suck? It sucks. But that's what's good about it, is that it sucks, right?
That's right. It's what's good about it is that it sucks. And if you don't think that it sucks, then it's not good. And if it's not good, it doesn't suck. Or something like that. Anyway, just to let you guys know, if you've seen what the free Brew Guru app can do for you. It's built for home brewers and beer lovers. The Brew Guru delivers sage brewing knowledge and money-saving deals at breweries, beer bars, and homebrew supply shops. The American Homebrewers Association designed this powerful mobile app to help homebrewers and craft beer lovers explore the wide world of beer that we all share. With Brew Guru, you can effortlessly find deals and save money on beer, food, and brewing supplies. Level up your brew IQ with hand-picked articles, proven recipes, and trusted resources from the American Homebrewers Association and Zymergy Magazine. And use the powerful brewery locator to find nearby breweries, tap rooms, beer bars, homebrew supply shops, and brew pubs wherever you are. Brew Guru will lead you to good beer. It's also free, which is the best part.
Hey.
You can go to the Play Store if you are an Android.
And it makes you money.
And it makes you money.
I was traveling in the St. Louis area last week, and I had it on all the time. And I got about like $100 worth of beer I might have paid for. I got like $15 off because I had the
nice. Very good. Or you can go to the Apple Store, or you can go to HomebrewAssociation.org and learn all about the Brew Guru. Let's get back to Greg here. Greg, are you still there, bud?
Yes, sir.
All right. Awesome. Thanks for hanging on. So we are going to move on to your Slingshot, which is your single hop lager. What's going on here?
So this is a single hop lager, like you said. The hop that we employ for this is Hallertau Blanc, so one of the newer, I guess not so new anymore, but one of the more modern Bavarian Hallertau German hops.
Yes.
Beautiful hop, perfect for this kind of a lager. What we do with this, which I think is very cool, is, again, this is a very traditional pale lager at its root. So it gets anywhere from a month to 2 months lagering time post-fermentation, classic cold lagering for a lager. And then we transfer the beer down to the bright tanks where we have a huge amount of Hallertau Blanc hops waiting in tank for the dry hopping. So it's a classic lager traditionally for a month, 2 months, and then we kind of revive it at the last minute and give it a real huge hit of hop aromatics that hopefully you can see from the glass.
That's great. This is so far my favorite beer out of the two beers we've tried. I think that hop choice again plays well with the malt.
Yeah, and it's even-handedly done. It's not like overdone. It's like appropriate amounts.
Yeah, I mean, there's
doesn't hide the lager character in the beer.
No, not really. And there's a firm bitterness to it, which isn't out of the realm of normal for a lager. But I think that kind of hits the modern day hop. The modern day beer drinker that's kind of looking for more hop forward beers like that.
Yeah, and I think for us, when it comes to classic lagers and particularly like classic Belgian beers as well, I prefer drier versions that are more hop forward, and that's not just aromatic, but that's like flavor and bitterness too. So I think of like the lagers. One of my favorite beers in the world is from a smaller Franconian brewery called Marsbräu. They make the unbeknownst, which is a beautiful Keller beer, unfiltered lager that's got some vibrant bitterness to it. And so we're kind of looking for that here. We don't want it to be too malt forward or lack that kind of hop backbone. And the same thing when we make our Belgian-style beers, we're inspired by the brewers like De La Seine and De Ranke that embrace the hop rather than, looking for alcohol or sweetness to get away from the hops.
Yeah, I agree.
I like the use of Hallertau Blanc because I think it's got really interesting hop and it's got some really nice flavors, but it's hard to make it play well with other hops. And so just kind of featuring that at the end of a long lagering phase is a really nice touch.
Is it really hard? What's hard about it?
Well, I mean, it's just got its own unique flavors.
Okay.
And I've tried combining it with a couple different hops, and there are other hops that work well when you're doing kind of a combination. And this just kind of, I don't know. It never found its place.
Because it's so unique?
Yeah, just like the unique grapey kind of combined with the noble hop character.
Right.
It just, something felt like off. Huh. Or just like extra that was unnecessary.
Yeah.
And so like for what you want, like the clean, finished, crisp final product of a beer to be.
Right.
I never got it to be where it was a nice, strong focal point and not just some ancillary weird thing that was off to the side. But it's nice in this when it's front and center.
Yeah, I like it.
And
the only hop it gives it a nice, safe place to be.
Yeah.
Well, let's shift on to your double IPA.
So this is Full Fathom 5. It is very aromatic, but again, it's not. I wouldn't call it a straight up West Coast IPA, but it's certainly not East Coast haze. It's supposed to have It's nice and dry. It's got bitterness to it. It's supposed to bite back a little bit. It's mostly Citra with a little bit of Galaxy, and classic British yeast for ester formation to kind of push some of the fruitier notes from the hops and tame some of the earthy kind of herbal green notes from the hops.
So this one is to me it would look like one of those, like a New England style kind of IPA. But you said that you weren't trying to make it look like that, or what's going on?
Well,
with
it's
this
super
one?
fresh.
I need to know if I like it or not.
It's unfiltered and it's extremely dry hopped.
Okay.
So there's going to be like haze to it. But what I mean to say is that it's not like we started hopping this, at the end of Whirlpool. There's kettle hops additions here. So while it's not, I wouldn't say it's like West Coast bitter, it definitely has some, it's not just a juicy, soft IPA. It's going to have some hop character on the palate and some bitterness. So, yeah, it's kind of a hybrid style.
Yeah, it doesn't taste like you just added a ton of calcium carbonate to just round out the water to where it's just no bitterness at all.
Yeah, there is still some there.
There is still some there. Even
Actually,
with all
there's kind of a lot there.
Considering.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah, right,
If
exactly.
you were putting it in the New England style, it's definitely on the bitter side.
Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, and the thing is, too, this sounds fresh. I mean, I think we probably racked this bottle off for you guys. I mean, I know we sent them to you on Friday. This got bottled on Friday morning.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I mean, this is, like, really fresh beer. I mean, it's not... That's why it's like that. Give it some time; it'll definitely fade out a little bit. It won't be as easy, but yeah.
Yeah, and it's definitely kind of like riding both of those styles, right? Where it is kind of soft and very well rounded, but then you have that bitterness at the end, and you're kind of. It doesn't taste like a traditional double IPA in the sense that it's not overly sweet for me. I'm not an IPA guy, so
I would say it's a very dry beer.
Yeah, for me, double IPAs can be overly sweet and really aggressive, and this is kind of not kind of. This is neither. It's a very well balanced between those two kind of soft water and then that bitterness coming through.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. I don't like saying that about double IPAs, but I did.
So what percent of the... You know what
and
percent
a cloudy
of the,
double IPA.
Right.
You know what percent of the fermentables are sugar in this beer? Like straight dextrose?
I don't. We definitely use a good amount of sugar in it.
Sure, you should in a double IPA.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a lot of wheat in there and there's a lot of oats in there. And that's also contributing to some of the haze that you're seeing. Another little trick, too, just to, you mentioned that it's not boozy. Higher final gravity helps with that. We find that, some malt sweetness can kind of run parallel with alcohol sweetness, and you can't really tell which is which. So that's a kind of a trick to tame the boozy character of some of these kind of hybrid styles.
And you're saying doing that by having a higher finish gravity?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Picking up tips, Stacey?
I'm getting little pointers here and there,
Right. With 18 fermenters, how many yeast strains do you guys have in-house at any one time?
Let's see. We use 2, 3. It's probably like six different strains going. But we're flipping beers quickly because, like I said, we're selling 2,500 barrels on site, so we're running through a lot of beer. So we've got multiple IPA strains, we've got multiple mixed fermentation strains, multiple a lager strain, a neutral strain, and then a Belgian strain, and that are going. The cool thing is that we've been able to, like I was talking about our real ales earlier. We can use some of our IPA strains for those classic British styles and things like that. So, yeah, it's yeast management is a crazy thing, and it's definitely something that is one of the bigger challenges of operating a brew. This much variety is really cool. But I should say the other reason why we have so many fermenters isn't just so we can brew lots of beers, but it's so that we never have to rush our beers. I mean, we do, long-aged lagering. We do a lot of long mixed fermentation beers in stainless. So, in order to do that, we need that kind of flexibility of having that many different fermentation vessels.
Got it.
Sure.
That's a great situation.
Yeah, that's smart.
You mentioned you serve bottles as well. What would we typically find in bottles if we came by there?
So we chose not to do growlers because, there's some quality control issues with growlers, but frankly, for us, it was more of a service issue. Like trying to operate a full restaurant and bar, but also a growler station at the same time can be kind of messy. So instead, we hand fill 750 milliliter bottles like y'all have there. We don't serve those on site. So on site, we just serve draft beer and cask ale, but we sell those bottles to go. And of the 20, we typically have about 10 to 12 different bottles available. But what's really cool is that we bottle in very small batches. So imagine if I've got a bright tank, a 15-barrel bright tank that I'm serving at the bar, I might rack off, 72 bottles this week, run through them all, and then next week bottle more, or maybe not. So instead of like doing a full batch of bottles or a full batch of kegs, we have a little bit more flexibility, which allows the beer to be much fresher in bottle than otherwise. So, it's kind of the best of both worlds. Like you're getting the freshness of growlers, but with the selection of bottles and a better quality product, I think.
Yeah, I like it that you can manage the selection that's available on the shelf by what you bought.
Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly.
Sounds good to me, man. Let's try the Grand Master.
Okay, so this is, like I said, we have a barrel age barrel aging program, and this is one of our Imperial Stouts. We like to keep it simple with a lot of our Imperial Stouts, and we have basically an Imperial Stout. We have multiple Imperial Stout bases. This is one of our kind of Imperial Stouts that doesn't have any spicing in or anything like that. I believe it's about 31 Plato original gravity.
Wow,
and then
31.
It's then this, and then we like to do that, put that in lots of different kinds of barrels, lots of different bourbon barrels, different rye barrels. And this blend ended up being a blend of exclusively of fresh Jim Beam barrels that held the Imperial Stout base for about a year. And then we actually bottled this and released it in the fall of 2016. So this has got about a year in bottle right now.
You said Jim Beam barrels?
Yeah, 100% Jim Beam barrels.
And then a year it's been in a bottle since it. Wow.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
about a year.
This is my favorite beer so far. It's
creamy and rich, and it's got some sweetness to it, but it's not boozy at all. And very mouth coating and rich.
Yeah, there's some toffee qualities to it that are like English toffee that I really enjoy. There's like a coffee thing happening also, but. And I don't mean it as an insult. I mean this as a positive, but it's bourbon first. Like that's the first impression that I get is bourbon and then barrel and then the beer. But I like it. I like the choices in the barrels that you made. I like the everything is fine. Normally I don't like it when a beer is like that. It's normally I want it to be a beer that was aged in a barrel that has some bourbon notes, kind of a reverse thing.
Yeah.
But but this isn't like that for me.
Right. I think I will say about that because it's intentional. When we brew these high gravity Imperial Stouts, and there is some lactose, milk sugar involved. We're going for a sweeter version. I mean, this is 31 piece start, and it's 11% alcohol, so it's got a lot of residual sugar in it. What we're trying to do is that the deliberate choice of Jim Beam. I mean, the other one that I love to use for this is Buffalo Trace, because I find these bourbons on their own to be balanced. And you say bourbon first, but it's certainly not boozy or hot.
Right.
And so what we're trying to do is find a balanced kind of sweet bourbon character that's going to be accentuated by this thick, rich, and basically sweet Imperial Stout base. I think what you're saying is right, and it's definitely intentional.
Good. I like being right and intentional. But yeah, it's very unique. Warren, what do you think?
I definitely can see the high finishing gravity. You definitely feel that, but the Jim Beam and the just the high alcohol content help cut that, and so it feels thick, but it's not mouth coating,
right?
To where it's cloying and you're not wanting to take another sip.
Yeah,
I get that where it's not really filling because it's not overly sweet. It's got that malt, more of a malt sort of sweetness in it.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's not alcohol hot like a Bernie thing, but there's booze there.
Yeah,
for me, and it's like a bourbony booze or whatever. If that makes sense, like you drink a bourbon, and it's like
a lot of times oak will make it taste more bourbony because it's kind of like oak.
Sure, the essence of a bourbon or whatever. Yeah.
This is more of a real bourbon character.
Yeah, to me that can help thin out help thin out a high gravity beer.
For sure, and
right, exactly.
I think I get a little bit of that in the beginning, just a bit. In which, look, it's an Imperial Stout. It's 11%. It's going to have some alcohol to it, and that's okay.
It's got the body of a 13%.
Right, and then it comes, but there's like some alcohol for me that comes back on the back end, and kind of hangs out a little bit in the back of your throat, in the back of your palate, which I think also helps clean up any kind of malt sweetness, and that roasty coffee toffee kind of thing stays behind, which is very lovely. It's not sticky.
It's a long finish.
Like your lips aren't sticking together, and it's It's very well made beer.
Yeah.
It's very well.
As it warms up, it gets even better.
And I think the lactose is a nice touch to make sure that it doesn't get too thin and too hot from the alcohol.
Right. Exactly.
How long?
These are fresh bourbon. These are fresh bean barrels too. I mean, these were like, we got them and we filled them and they were dripping with bourbon. So,
oh man.
And we blended it back too. I mean, this isn't just. This is. I forget the percentages, but we're not. We're always looking to blend back. We're doing all blends on this, so it's primarily barrel-aged beer. But then we had some fresh new batch that we blend in to make sure that we clean it up and counteract any booze or thinness that may have come from the barrel aging.
Yeah, when you get in the barrels, you're blending. Everybody blends when you get in the barrels.
Yeah, it's not something you think about either. Really, as like the consumer side.
Yeah. They think it's like, it came out of a barrel.
Came out of a barrel. This is the whole thing.
It's the whole barrel, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Greg, as beer director, what does that role entail as far as the beer selection and the daily goings on at the brewery?
It is a crazy job. I think it's pretty singular at this point because it's cool. We're a group of restaurants that each of the restaurants we have we have 20 different places now, but they're all independent. Singular. Many of them are extremely beer-oriented, and those that aren't have incredible beer lists. And so I'm a partner in the restaurant group, but my major function is to outfit everything with these incredible beer programs. So, like I said, places like, obviously, Blue Jacket, but Church Key and Birch and Barley, but Sovereign, the two Roosticos that we have, these are all huge beer places. And I literally select every ounce of beer that goes in to every place. I design all of the programs, all of the event planning, all of the training. We even do like a huge 12,000-person beer festival in D.C. every year called Snallygaster with almost 400 different beers on draft, cask, gravity, keg outside. So it is a huge thing, that's basically it. I mean, I live beer every day of the day. It's pretty cool for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Because you definitely know what you're talking about when it comes to these beers, as far as the hop selection and why things are happening. And that's it seems like you're hands on.
Yeah, and it's cool because we've had when I joined our group in 2006, we had 4 restaurants, and today we have 20 different stores, and that's been the great thing, is been able to develop these new programs, build a team. I mentioned Ro, our director of brewing operations at Blue Jacket. He's incredible. He came to us from Great Divide most recently, but he was at Left Hand before then. And then I have another guy named Tim Liu, who's the assistant beer director, who just absolutely kills it for us day in and day out. We've built a cool, great team, and we're able to really make take craft beer, I think, to a different level in the nation's capital.
It sounds like it, man.
Is Blue Jacket available at all the other restaurants?
So what we do with that is we do very small kind of hotspot distribution to the other restaurants. We're actually increasing our production at Blue Jacket right now. We can get up to over 4,000 barrels. So we'll start distributing a little bit more. And we're looking at building a second facility in Virginia. It's not going to be anything big. It'll probably just be another, 3,000 or 4,000 barrel brewery, selling as much as possible on site, just to give another venue for people to come to. I think anybody opening a production brewery nowadays looking to do regional or even national distribution should have their heads checked, because there's no room out there. But so we're looking at that right now. But the other thing that we do is we work with our good friends at Shelton Brothers Imports out of Belchertown, Mass, to send kind of hotspot some of our beers to different festivals throughout the U.S. and different markets as well. So, sometimes our beer will pop up in New Orleans at the Avenue Pub, or down in North Carolina at Beer Study. We've sent some beer out to San Fran before because we're involved with Good Food Awards. So, we get around, but all in very small batches.
Very cool. Greg, I want to thank you for your time, man. And the beers were great, and we learned a lot about the beer scene over in D.C. and kind of just how everything is coming together out there. The beers are tasting great.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure, man. And you can learn more at, what's the website for the brewery?
BlueJacketDC.com.
BlueJacketDC.com. Greg, thank you very much, man. It's been a great time, and if you're ever out this way, come by the bar. We'll buy you a beer.
Definitely will. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, thanks, man. I really like that Imperial Stout.
Jack Daniels.
It's 11%.
I know, right? And I hate saying that again, like with the double IPA. It's like, oh God, I hate saying this, but it's actually really good.
Yeah.
Which I hope is a compliment. I hope it's taken as a compliment, right? Because it sounds like I'm being an asshole.
I got a good buzz going from that stuff. I can tell you that.
It makes me optimistic because I just put a milk stout into an Elijah Craig barrel 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
So the Brew Pub's barrel aging program is underway.
Good.
And I was kind of nervous about it. It's like, well, lucky for you, it's not 11% alcohol.
Oh, so
it's only about 5.
How long is it going to stay there?
Until it tastes good.
Oh.
So forever.
Okay.
Because I made it.
Yeah, good. It's going to evaporate and I'm never going to
Once the barrel's empty, I'll fill it again with some other beer.
Right.
Well, the 5% is going to be really affected by the barrel.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely going to get goosed a little bit.
Be quick-handed with that kick-out.
Yeah. So I'm real curious to see. It's been in about 3 weeks now. I was going to give it a month and then check it for the first time.
That's the right idea.
Yeah. And so it could be sooner rather than later, but
who knows?
Yeah, I like the lactose in here. I think that could be interesting with the bourbon flavor.
Yeah, that was a very good take on it too. Because bourbons can be they can have a sweeter note to them from the oak, and I think that plays really well with it.
Yeah,
I don't have much experience with Jim Beam though.
It's been years. Yeah, I remember it being on the sweeter side.
Yeah.
In general,
I could see why that would work. I mean, that's a good choice. Yeah, that was cool, man. Speaking of cool, all strains, Warren, all strains from the vault have been released by White Labs. If you've missed your chance to order one of their rare and unique specialty strains, don't worry. The popular strains like WLP 835 German X Lager, or the WLP 611 New Nordic Yeast Blend, or the WLP 564 Leeuwenhoek Saison Blend, and even more will be making a comeback to the vault next month when White Labs resets all the strains available for pre-ordering. Stay tuned for more details and a full announcement from White Labs. In the meantime, visit whitelabs.com/thevault for details on how to get access to these highly coveted strains for homebrewers.
That Nordic yeast blend explains why Chris was fondling my beard at HomebrewCon.
Oh, really?
That's probably where he got it from.
I don't think anything can explain
Swabbing
that.
it.
We should... That's what we would call John of the Beer Law Center. No, actually, that's what you would call. If you're going to call John of the Beer Law Center, you just call me instead because I read his book.
Right.
So I know how to deal with that.
Well,
because we can sue him.
In a few months, I'm going to be burning down the brewery, so it won't be an issue.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Once I take my insurance policy.
But I mean, now we can also file a suit against White Labs for stealing the...
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, and this is how I think John would handle it. He would shave your beard first so there's no proof that it didn't come from there.
Well, and then also, Chris had to destroy the evidence of where it came from.
Right.
So Chris came and broke into my house at night while I was sleeping.
He did.
And shaved my beard.
Now you're getting... See, maybe I'm teaching you too well. Maybe now that you're starting to learn this, maybe now you can take
$5 an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
See how this works. It's a pyramid scheme.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Why would you take my shit?
Chris White, he's a tough cookie.
We're going to take a break here in a second, but don't forget, you live listeners, if you want a chance to win if you want to win a package deal to the California Craft Beer Summit.
Beer Summit? Yeah.
In Sacramento. I lost my copy, so I forgot. I think the dates are the 7th through the 9th of September. Give us a call at 888-401-2337. 888-401-2337. I might be having a stroke. No, 267 is fine. Call us now. Call us after the break. Whatever you want to do, but just call us and overshare. This segment is called Overshare with the Brewing Network.
But just to be clear, you don't have to overshare to me on the phone. I just want to know your name.
No, you don't understand, Bev. Let me just...
A chance to talk dirty.
Let me tell you.
She says she doesn't want it. That means she does.
That's true.
That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
Give it a...
Yeah. Right, Bev?
Guys, stop.
Why?
Because I said so.
No.
Oh.
Because stop means...
Yeah, stop means stop.
Okay.
Actually, before we take a break, I want to talk to Warren, Tasty. I want to talk to Warren about awards.
Yeah.
Because apparently someone found it fit to give Warren a few awards.
Yeah, I say.
This last
I agree.
week.
Yeah, I
like
I
good
heard
ones.
this.
And a major award.
I still get goosebumps.
Someone.
So what happened? Tell me about your award, because you're apparently the only brewer.
Can I just say one thing?
that can afford.
You're going to mention the competition. The California State Fair competition is really, really competitive. I mean, like every brewer that's a brewer in California enters this competition. Go ahead. What did you do?
I got a call at NHC first day from pretty much everybody at the brewery. And I was talking to people at the exhibit hall floor, and I'm getting call after call, and I'm just imagining the chiller broke, tanks are exploding.
I think you were talking to me and Blobber and Bev, and you're like, oh, shit. I remember the look. You're like, oh.
Yeah, that's a weird, but I think what totally should be expected way to get the news.
Yeah.
It was total discouragement. He was like, damn it.
I was expecting the worst.
Right.
And a few minutes later, I leave the floor and give him a call back, and everyone's kind of in a panic, and so it's not helping. And I'm instantly on speaker with everybody, and so I'm bracing myself. I'm sitting down, and then
all the beer ran on the floor.
Right, yeah. And they say that at the California State Fair, apparently Loma got Brewery of the Year.
Whoa!
In its first, we've been open 10 months, and apparently that hasn't happened before at the State Fair.
Yeah, right.
And no brewery in their first year has gotten it.
Nice.
And so they said that it's this year, because it set another record in terms of the number of entrants in the State Fair. It's the third largest competition in the U.S.
Jeez.
I'm guessing behind GABF and World Beer Cup.
Yeah.
And so it's the largest. And
wow.
And I think something like 60% of all the breweries in California competed.
Wow, that's a lot.
No, go to the website. Google State Fair results or something.
Yeah.
Like that, California State, and then look who didn't win. And you see everybody you recognize as great California breweries are in there.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of the good ones competed for sure. And apparently we got 3 medals or ribbons, whatever that you get at the State Fair.
I like how you said apparently. Like, it sounds like you're doubting it. Like, you're leaving a room for someone to prove you're wrong. Yeah,
I
think you got 2 firsts and a...
Apparently.
Yeah, it doesn't seem real. But
you did better than anybody else.
Yeah. Well, actually, we tied in terms that there was another brewery, I believe, that got 2 first place and a second.
Okay.
But the tiebreaker is because I got first in the American IPA category, which was the largest category, category.
That is here, right? American IPA category. You took first in California.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Our good friend Julian got second.
See what I'm saying?
So, yeah.
Go look at the results. You don't need to drop the names.
Yeah.
But
Amalgamator is a great IPA.
Fuck Julian. We'll call him right now.
Yeah.
We'll school that dude.
Hey, dude. He'd be like, well, mistakes happen.
Yeah. Please tell me you called him.
Huh?
You didn't call him?
I haven't called him yet.
So
wait a minute. You don't call you call the other guy to congratulate.
Julian, I'm waiting.
That's right. That's right by the photo.
Well, you got, what does it look like? For standard American beer category, you got a second place for your American wheat beer called No Oranges Allowed.
Yeah, 2 of the beers were the first times we ever brewed the beers. We did.
So you made no adjustments. You made the beer.
That was the first one.
You drummed up the beer and you brewed it, and it won.
Yeah, I did a dry hopped American wheat. It was Loma's first hazy beer. that I allowed to go out the tap
because it's supposed to be.
Because it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's a wheat beer. It's like, okay, fine, we'll make one. So I dry hopped it with some Mandarin of Bavaria to give it kind of a citrus flavor.
Thank you for not saying juicy.
Right. That's why I named it No Orange is Allowed, to make people try it first.
No orange,
because it's got citrus in there. Yeah. And if you really don't like it, then you can mess it up and put whatever you want in the beer.
Squeeze the lime in there.
Yeah, and so that beer, and then the Maibach that got first place in the European multi-lager category was the first time we ever did that beer also.
Wow.
Pale multi-European lager, and the name is Summer is Coming.
Yeah.
Are you making these names up?
Actually all three of these are mine.
They're all stupid.
I mean, that was because Game of Thrones is about to start, and so summer is coming.
Kidding,
yeah,
but yeah, I mean, you got of course you got Bear Republic in there. They won for German Pils. Rip Current won for the Amber Multi-European Lager for Dunkelsbach. Never heard of it. New Helvetia, Old Republic. Crooked Lane, Dust Bowl, Sudwork, Fault Line, Magnolia, for God's sakes, Fifth Mountain. Everyone's in there, man. And
I met the guys from
I've never heard of.
I met the guys from Crooked Lane. They actually got, I believe, second best in show with a Doppelbock, and they are making some fantastic German-style beers up in Northern California.
Where are they? Northern California?
Somewhere near Sacramento, within an hour or so. Sacramento, I can't remember.
Here's the thing. Ballast Point. How can Ballast Point enter a craft beer competition when they're not craft beer?
Well, I don't know that it specifies that you have to be craft. It's just state of California.
That's too bad. EJ Fair. Wow.
Oh, good. What'd they get?
They won a bronze for their strong British ale.
Excellent.
Shorty's Revenge.
Yeah.
Shorty's Revenge.
Yeah, that's rad. We know that beer very well.
Wow.
Yeah. Figueroa Mountain and Miraz won.
Yeah. Moonraker won a couple. Pizza Port won. Beechwood won. Yeah, took second from Amalgamator. And Warren, of course, took first with Appeasement. And then River City took third. Yeah, there's a lot of breweries I've never heard of.
Yeah, which is cool to see.
I get out a little bit, but Drake's is on there for their Imperial IPA for the Denogonizer. They won bronze. Miraz won second for European Sour with a Lambic. Ballast Point on there. Firestone Walker Wit beer for the Propagator Wit. We talked about that after Firestone Fest.
We did?
Yeah, we had that wit beer, didn't we?
I don't remember that. Oh, wasn't that a Hefeweizen?
Yes, it was but it was a wit beer.
It was?
Yeah, it was a wit beer.
Oh yeah, then that beer was great.
It's fucking amazing.
What's amazing is they probably entered the American IPA category
with a wit beer.
And you know who won?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, I just love that Appeasement is the name of the IPA that won.
Well, I'm gloating more than Warren is, but of course you shouldn't gloat.
Yeah, you're like, fine.
You should be humble.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll have to do one.
I'm being unhumble for him.
There's talk about making a shirt for it, and I want it to be like
all beard.
Yeah, right. About Appeasement, and so I want it to be like, this ought to shut you up. Appeasement IPA.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
I think it'll be great, Warren. I think it'll be great.
But yeah, so
you're a rock star. You've got backstories working up here.
Yeah, apparently there are some people in Sacramento that also like the beer I'm making.
Great.
Yeah.
People in Sacramento didn't like the beer I'm making, so I'll tell you that right now.
Well, no, they did. The people in Minnesota didn't.
Well, yeah. I think this year I want to start entering like fairs and shit. It sounds really easy.
You're going to expand your game. You're going to go for more.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I've never done that before.
No.
I've entered like a couple of local comps, maybe literally twice, and then only nationals. That's it.
And it does help you potentially because a lot of those judges also judge in the larger competitions
to know what the fuck
exactly to see what they like.
Yeah, my problem is I don't want to brew to what they like. I want to brew to what I like, and that's wrong. Which is why I never do well with my oatmeal stout in competition.
Yeah,
because it tastes good to me, and I don't want to brew.
No, I get that.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
I don't want to change it, but that's
well,
me being a weird
there
guy.
definitely is two philosophies.
Yeah,
you brew to the style for the competition, or you brew to what you like.
Yeah, you got to come.
Yeah.
Hey, Tasty, let me ask you a question. What are you doing Friday, July 7th, 2017, between 6 and 10 p.m.?
I'm going to go to somebody's benefit or some sort of wake, I think.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
What else is going on? I'm sorry.
Wow.
Oh.
And so, no.
A friend of mine died, yeah. Whatever.
Oh, well, whatever.
That was a lot darker than I was
I'm
expecting.
sorry. I thought you were serious.
Oh, wow.
I was.
We thought you were promoting the event.
We've had two good overshares on the show already tonight.
That's good.
Do I win?
Well,
I get the test kit?
Right.
I'll tell you what, Tasty. That day,
what else is going on?
Friday,
There's
July
a lot
7th,
of conflicts. Yeah.
is Aroma Day at Drake's dealership in Oakland, California.
I can do it. This is going to be in the same area. I'll do both.
It's from 6 to 10. I mean, how long can a wake last? You know what I mean?
You don't want to spend too much time in a wake.
Never. Nobody. And really, the funeral's the next day, so that's really what matters. The release of Aroma Coma 2.0, along with Aromatherapy Triple IPA. Aroma Day is your first chance to get your hands on 2017 bottles of both.
I'll definitely be there.
That's pretty good, right?
See,
See
you there.
They also have puppy and kitten playpens, massage chairs. Oh, God, Bev.
Puppy
now
and
that
kitten.
Bev has a cat, she's like, I love cat. I love everything cats. Meanwhile,
I don't love everything cat. I do love my cat.
Is that to bring your cat or puppy to, or is they're providing them?
I think they're
for you to
providing
play
them
with.
for
No,
you
you
to play
get to
with.
have fondle somebody's kitten.
Yeah, somebody's puppy.
That's weird.
It sounds, yeah, but whatever. Massage chairs, hop vaporizers, which I've always wanted to have Lagunitas guys come in and do that, but you know. Whatever. Interactive aromatherapy indulgence. I don't know what that means. Vinyl listening station. Sully will probably be there. Live DJs, beer, ice cream from Humphrey Slocum, spicy food, and more. And it's free.
So
free admission, open to all ages, but you buy packages for tasting.
Yeah. That's the weirdest way to say turntable. I think I've ever heard.
That's right.
Vinyl listening station.
Yeah. So go to aromaday2017.eventbrite.com. Again, that is Friday, July 17th, after Tasty's Friends Wake.
No, I'll be at both. I'm going to pregame at this and then go to the wake.
Oh, okay.
What time's the wake?
I don't know. It starts at 6. I'll be at 6. You want to see me? Be there at 6.
You want to see me?
Before I'm about to go mourn my friend?
In fact, we'll all go over to the morning.
Just crash your friend. What happened to your friend, dude?
53 and had a heart attack.
Wow. Is he like a big fat guy, or was he?
No,
looked
great.
Great shape?
Yeah, looked great.
Oh, my God. See, that's what I worry about the most in life. They just don't know. Was he a smoker? Or?
No.
Just happened.
He drank beer, of course, but not to any great excess, and I could tell. Yeah, he's always had his shit together.
Well, you have to be in great shape in order to be worried about it, so you're fine.
I'm in great shape.
You're a shape.
Whatever.
That's true.
Let's enjoy right now and not talk about this.
Well, now, but it's the most interesting thing you've said all show.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, to JP personally.
Yet, so
no, it's not. Stop it.
It is. It's the most engaging thing. I want to know. I want to know more about it. But I guess that's all. How long have you known the guy?
I don't know. Probably 7 or 8 years.
No, okay. Meet him in the beer world.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry.
Well, it's all right. No.
Yeah, Warren, it's fine.
You got to come to the thing.
I just turned Warren's mic off.
A lot of people know it.
It's just you and me. It's an industry thing. I'm not going to go and like a hobnob.
I don't do any hobnobbing.
No, I'm not going to. You're like, you should come. No, I'm not going to go just to meet industry people.
No. People you know, as I'm saying.
Oh, well, that's good. I do like people I know. Okay, on that note, we're going to take a break. And then when we come back, we're going to take callers to win the thing of the California Craft Beer Summit. We're going to give away the iDip for the Twitter game winner, and we're going to try some more beer from Upland. Our friend Matt there dropped off some beer, so we're going to have a little bit and just hang out. It's the session. Hang on. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and freshest ingredients and the best customer service in the business. Check out their brand new patent-pending mash and boil 110-volt electric mashing and boiling unit. This compact all-stainless unit lets you mash, sparge, and boil just about anywhere that has a 110-volt plug. Double-wall construction adds to efficiency and safety, and a precise thermostat keeps temperatures where you want them. Unlike insulated buckets and converted coolers, multiple temperature rest mashing is easy to do, all for under $300. They also feature the Mark II work pump, a magnetic drive high-temperature pump that does the work of pumps that cost twice as much, as well as exclusive Brewer's Edge regulators and quality Keg King kegs and disconnects. Check them out today at williamsbrewing.com to brews their vast selection. With over 20 years of experience making world-class craft beer and more than 100 gold medals in international competitions, Moylan's Brewing Company is not just a pretty face in craft beer. Just ask Brendan Moylan.
What do we got here? The beer of the hour. Moylan's, gotta love that big M. It's like a sign of awesomeness. Woo-hoo! It's got an extra kick to it. Let's pour this bad boy. Oh, yeah. Oh, Moylan's. At the end of the night, when the kids are finally in bed, the wife's in bed, nobody's bothering your ass anymore, that's Moylan's time. Moylan's is for you. Yeah. It's to help you out. Yeah. It helps me out. What? Well, because it's freaking awesome. Northern California brewed. It's brewed with love. With love? Oh, yeah. Tremendous. And it's always best where? Moylan's. You gotta try it. On tap at Moylan's in Novato. They're friggin' awesome. Not only because I own the brewery, because I love the beer. Cheers! Boom.
Kilt Lifter Scotch Ale takes big beers to a whole new level with rich malt balanced perfectly with delicate hops, and now comes in 4-pack tall boy cans so you can take the party on the go. Or come to the brewery, take a tour, and try any of Moylan's fresh creations right from the source. Check them out at moylans.com.
BN Army, have you heard the latest at Hop Tech? Since Hop Tech has doubled in size after a huge expansion, Jade and Roberto can stock even more of the best quality homebrewing supplies and equipment. Over 60 kick-ass varieties of hops and malts, monster truckloads of quality brewer's yeast, including White Labs, Y-yeast, and multiple dry yeasts. They even have all grain systems from Grainfathers and Ruby Street Brew Systems, thanks to Jade, the brand new all-grain brewer. And don't forget about their 10% discount to all BN Army members. Jade and Roberto are waiting for you and all of your brewing questions over at hoptech.com. Hoptech, totally not sucking since 1983.
Hey guys, what'll it be?
I'm not sure. What do you recommend?
A lot of people seem to like the Hefeweizen.
Is that a German Hefeweizen or more of an American-style wheat beer?
I'm not sure, but I can give you a taste.
Okay, great.
The Cicerone Certification Program certifies and educates beer professionals in order to elevate the beer experience for consumers. Unfortunately, not every bar is staffed with certified beer servers who can guide their customers through a beer list.
Here you go, guys. Let me know what you think of the Hefeweizen.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely more of an American meat. But I can hardly tell because this beer just smells like sour butter. I wonder how long it's been since they cleaned the draft line.
Yeah, and look at the bubbles on the side of the glass. It's filthy.
Somebody should tell these guys about the Cicerone program.
For sure. How about we head somewhere else for another beer?
Your server should give beer the same respect you do. Request quality. The Cicerone Certification Program offers 4 levels of beer certification, in-person classes, and course books for beer professionals. Check them out at cicerone.org. The Cicerone Certification Program. We know beer.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters. This is Jamel Zainashev, and I want to tell you about Heretic Evil Twin. You might be familiar with my homebrew recipe, which uses massive late hopping to create a balance between the malty sweet and the hoppy bitter, along with an outrageous malt and hop character. I wanted a beer with the same bold hop and malt character, so we played around with the homebrew recipe and until we're able to make a great commercial version too. We've created a beer rich in malt character, full of caramel, toast, biscuit, and an ever so subtle roast note. On top of that, we piled in an insane amount of Citra and Columbus hops at the end of the boil, as well as in dry hopping. This damn-the-cost approach to hopping gives Heretic's Evil Twin a great blast of citrus and tropical fruit that can't be matched by any other hop. The result is a bold, malty, hoppy, but easy-drinking beer. This is our top seller, our flagship beer, and I couldn't be prouder of it. Cheers.
To find Heretic beers near you, click on Find Some at hereticbrewing.com.
It's the Brewing Network session, the weird jam band segue that I expected to have some sort of like return, but
I didn't even know we were back. I just thought that was another commercial song, commercial break song.
Whatever. What are you going to do? Whatever. Speaking of what you're going to do, Tasty, Adam and Eve is determined to help you spice things up in the bedroom.
Well, yeah,
You might have heard about this.
Well, I was just reminding me I need to get some gifts for some people.
Oh, for the week.
I too have a bedroom.
That's all the details I'm going to give you. So
Right.
keep going. Keep going. Back to the copy.
All right. And they're backing that up, or they're backing up that promise and that ass, I hope. Check this out. Go to adamandeve.com and you'll get 50% off almost any item when you enter offer code BNARMY at checkout. But now, backed by popular demand, you'll also get the free Big O kit. Adam and Eve's Big O kit includes their exclusive Climax gel, which I want to know what that is.
Whatever.
The Big O?
What's wrong? What could be wrong with it?
The Climax.
You can't think about its name.
Well, right. Gel.
Climax is something like
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, have you used the Climax gel?
Whatever. It's not
You're
like
a
if
man
it's-
of the world, Tasty.
I don't know. It's probably like...
It's
probably like sustains your Johnson or something.
Is that like the
Makes it
gel, like
last
icy
longer.
hot?
I think it might be like icy hot,
Just
like,
like
to have
icy
you
hot.
had a better...
Or
but
maybe a little bit up the the back end might make a difference or something.
Just like squirt the tube up there?
Yeah, exactly.
At Climax? Maybe that's why.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh.
You've never used it?
Sky's the limit. No, I have not.
Sky's
Not that I know it.
Would you? Would you use it and then report back? No?
No, I won't.
Oh, come on!
No, you wouldn't use it, or no, you wouldn't
there's
report
too
back?
many other embarrassing circumstances that I have to bring up. Like, who is this chick? Is she nuts?
Well, yes. You don't know, and yes. Those are the two answers.
My favorite type, by the way.
Yeah. Who is this chick? I don't know. Is she nuts? Yep.
Yeah. You bet on it.
Yeah. Well, that's disappointing. Warren, you should use it.
The Big O kit?
The Climax gel. I just want to know
The gel. Where's it going? What orifice is it
Yeah.
going to?
I'm not going to use it because that's weird. But
okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
I think Adam and Eve should send you a free sample. And,
didn't we have?
You'll change your tune. I'm thinking.
I think we had Shimke trying some of the stuff.
We
out.
talked about games here. Really? She was talking.
I don't know, like on the show.
Yeah,
Like,
she was kind of volunteering almoast.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe we were coercing her.
I'm not going to get her on the phone. That'd be too much.
That's a whole other show, by the way.
It really is. That would be kind of an interesting show. Yeah. And the exclusive Climax gel and a mini vibrator. You'll also get your entire order sent to you for free. So hurry up, take advantage of this limited offer because they do change the prizes that you get. It used to say like we're not going to tell you, and then it's the Big O kit. Then it was something else, and now it's back to this. So they do change this stuff up.
Just because it says mini doesn't mean it's not powerful. Okay, so I want to point that out.
That's right. Look at Doc.
Wasn't there something
all about where it's at?
Doc is very mini, but he's very powerful.
Yeah.
Wasn't there something ribbed for a while that we had to say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there was. See, that's what I mean. They changed this stuff, man. Let's see. So take advantage of the limited time offer. You can choose a new adult toy, a naughty movie, or almost anything else. And then when you choose that one item, which is 50% off, don't forget, you'll get free shipping plus the Big O kit, which includes that Climax gel and the mini vibrator, like Tasty said. Because it's small doesn't mean it's not powerful. You won't find this deal anywhere else. Just use offer code BNARMY at checkout. That's BNARMY. BNARMY at adamandeve.com. I really want Bev to try to get us a tour of this thing, man.
The warehouse.
Yeah, what state are they in?
My God.
Ohio? Where are they at?
North Carolina, I think.
Perfect.
Right, because
like
we can go visit some of the other breweries out there.
Let's find out. I'm going to find out right now.
Yeah.
Adam and Eve.
Yeah, we need a tour. In fact, I'll pay my own expenses to go there.
Hillsboro, North Carolina.
All right.
Yeah.
See, I think we should go do that. We should hit some tours. We should have John from the Beer Law Center take us out because he lives in North Carolina, I think, and his address is 459 Hayseed Way. No, I don't know. They have a 30,000-foot expansion. I think we talked about this one day.
The expansion is 30,000
that's like a couple acres.
Yeah, and I think they started with 40 or 20 or some insane amount.
Oh, wow.
Fucking insane.
That's a lot of freaking dildos.
That's a lot of toys.
Gel, too.
Butt plugs.
Yeah.
I mean, every diameter.
How many big O's can people have?
I thought there was a limit.
Yeah.
Whatever. We do need a tour.
Right?
Maybe the expansion would be enough for me.
Maybe they'll show us how to use some of those things.
Hey guys, they should have
where's this
classes.
gel go, by the way?
Hey, I just have one quick question. You know me, I'm Tasty from the Brewing. No, you don't know me. Well, trust me, people know me. I have a quick question.
Yeah, exactly.
Where does this gel go? I don't know where the gel goes.
Try every place.
Just try it all over the place. Yeah. That's what they should say. Just try it everywhere. Try it everywhere. I just opened a beer from Upland. Matt, their brewer there, is a listener of ours, and he dropped off some beer at HomebrewCon, and I promised that I would get it back to the studio and share it with everybody.
It arrived. Wow.
So you gave it to me.
I gave one to you. I took two for me.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
And all of them...
I some bin balance there.
Well, only because...
I brought it back to the studio.
We had to get them back.
Muled it.
Right. Yeah, we had to bring it back, right?
I deserve it.
So here we are. We're drinking. I had 3 bottles. I still have 3 bottles. I'm not going to drink all 3 bottles tonight because that's crazy. But there we go. Look at that. I'm a man of my word.
Wow.
So, Matt, there you go. If you're listening, dude, we're drinking your beer. This is barrel-aged fruited sour ale. It's just called Cherry, which is kind of awesome in its simplicity.
Yeah.
It's a cool label.
Yeah, it is.
Some weird abstract painting or something.
Yeah, it's more abstract.
Bloomington, Indiana, aged on whole cherries.
Whole cherries?
Yeah.
Oh. I get that.
With Montmorency cherries from Michigan. From Michigan. They have a base blonde ale over many months in oak tanks to produce tart flavors.
Yeah, the malt character still comes through, and it makes it taste just like the right amount of cherry pie.
Oh, man, it smells great.
Yeah.
Jeez. I think a cherry sour ale is probably my favorite beer smell. One of them.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know, something, if that balance is right, that cherry aroma.
Yeah.
So good.
Getting the cherry flavor for sure. Think you could use more pit character to make it more like a cherry pie?
To me, this tastes more like cherry pie because you get a little bit of the malt sweetness in the aroma. And if you get too much of the pit character, then it's way more tannic and just more harsh.
It's a good fucking beer, dude.
It is really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
I am really impressed with this beer right now.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
We only got 1 bottle?
Yes. We only got 1 bottle. He gave us 3 bottles, but they're each different beers. So we have 1 bottle of this. We have one with a beer aged on pawpaw fruit, which apparently is a Michigan thing. I don't know. And then 1 aged in something else. I don't know. They're in the fridge here, but I'll bring them home and I'll bring them back for the next show because these are really good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for bringing this one back. This is
You're welcome, man. Yeah, April 20. Dude, trust me. I had the internal conversation several times about not. Just look, 1 is fine. We're never going to drink them all.
Right.
But no, I'm going to mule them back and forth. And if we never drink them, I will bring them every week.
Wow.
Because I care about you guys.
I don't believe you, but wow.
Good for you.
Hell yeah. I think so, too. This was bottled in April 2017.
Yeah.
But I think it's perfect to open now. I mean, God.
Yeah.
And I'm not blowing smoke. Like, I'm not just being like, oh, that's a really great beer, and I'm going to dump it. It's a really great beer.
Yeah.
It's very.
I like it.
It's very.
Yeah. I was nervous with how pushy he was on the club floor, or wherever it was, about pouring his beer for me. But once I had it, I was okay with it.
Yeah.
And this is another example of me being okay with it.
Yeah. It's really good, man. And I'm trying to figure out why it's so good. But yeah, there is that middle flavor that is. It's almost. spiced in a way. Like a nutmeggy thing, but not. So that might be the pit. And we've talked to a few sour producers before about including some of the stones in the fruits that in the barrels to ferment to get some of that flavor.
Yeah,
that kind of middle palate flavor.
Yeah,
and I wonder if he did that. So I've reached out to him. We're trying to book him in August.
Nice.
Yeah.
He can send more of this.
He can send just all of this. Hey, guys, here's 8 bottles of this beer. I don't know if he talks like that. He's not a preteen. But it's a good beer, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you doing this. That's good. Where's Bev when you want to get her a good beer?
Good thing she's getting us food.
Okay, don't forget, 888-401-2337. Win some tickets to the California Craft Beer Summit, which is awesome.
We're waiting for your calls.
And Beer Fest, by the way. You need to overshare with the BN, which...
Oh, it's a great Beer Fest. Oh, my God.
Hopefully, this could be a good game. It's a new game.
Yeah,
overshare with the BN.
Yeah, if you need to get something off your chest.
Whatever it is, we're here for you.
Yeah.
Want to hear your angst.
Yeah. Reminds me of the Ask Uncle Dr. Sully segment that we used to do on the mixtape.
Oh, yeah.
Sully and I used to do a mixtape show. We did like 8 or 9 shows over a couple years, and we always had a segment called Ask Uncle Dr. Sully, where you call up and you ask your life questions.
Yes.
And
people were listening live.
People were listening live, yeah. Cool. Just turn it on. It was like, it started in the Martinez studio, where we'd crack a bottle of wine and light a couple candles.
We're listening to that too.
Swear to God. And just drink wine and eat Thai food and have candles around. And we haven't done it in a while. But this one dude called up. He's like, yeah, so my ex is coming over, my ex-wife, and I don't know if she's like into it or not. And so I might bone her, but I don't know if I should bone her. And we're like, look, dude. We think you should bone her. That's our sentiment, because it's just, at some point it's just boning, but also it could lead to more. Do you love it? We had this whole conversation, right?
Yeah.
And I think a year later he called back to update us. That night, that boning session, they had a kid, and they got married again, and they're back together. No, it was like a good thing.
That's nice.
And we're like, man.
It could have been a good thing.
It could have been terrible.
There's another kid he's got to deal with.
Yeah, but we're like, Jesus, dude, you should name it after one of us, because we brought that child to life. I guarantee you, if we hadn't said
hear
that...
This. It's all recorded?
No, it's not recorded. No, it's not recorded.
I thought.
No, but it should be. I guarantee you, if we had said don't do it, he wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the single male,
he was
horny
you could tell he was
mind.
like laying himself out there, like whatever you decide, like you're the.
Yeah, he literally.
Yeah.
He was like, tell me what to do. I don't know what to do.
There was one time I called in anonymously asking for advice, and I used Candy's real name, and Sully refused to call her by that because he thought that it sounded too stripperish.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, he's like, I remember this.
I can't call her that. You need to make up another name for this person.
What was the name you made up?
I don't remember. Like Ashley or something like that. He's like, okay, I can work with that. And then by the end, you figured it out.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, you're like, hey, this is Warren, and I was like, yeah, you're right.
Oh man.
But yeah, the whole time Sully was just like, I can't handle calling this girl Candy. It's just too much.
I understand. Was the question real? I want to ask the question because
I don't remember exactly what it was. I think it was the time when I was moving out of your place and back in with my wife, and I was talking about how it's going to change the whole relationship. Like, I'm moving back in with this girl I've been involved with for a long time, and it could be weird. We've been living separate for a while.
Could be weird.
Yeah. And so, yeah, he couldn't call her by her name.
And was it weird?
It still is. Do you have a room? Because I'd love to move back.
That's the cool part about it.
Yeah,
I do have a room, and
where's good?
I'll have 2 more rooms soon. So
okay,
plenty of room.
So I could pick one. I could pick the better one.
Yeah,
nice.
Definitely the side-facing one will be the better one. Okay. I'm going to call it the west wing. Or no, actually, it's the north wing. It faces north.
Oh wow, your house has wings now.
Sure.
Wow.
It's like poured a bunch of Red Bull on it. It's fine.
Well, save a space for me when you're there.
I'll do that. I think it'll be great.
Yeah, I'll call into the next mixtape show and we can talk about
it. I do want to do a mixtape show, another one with Sully. That was good. It was a fun time. Speaking of fun times, go to craftbeer.com. They have a beer and food course. It's a groundbreaking course that leads professionals and enthusiast chefs alike through the basics of pairing beer and food. It was built by a Culinary Institute of America graduate and certified Cicerone, so you know what they're talking about.
Two bangs.
There are two versions, a professional version made for chefs, restaurateurs, brewers, and hospitality professionals, and an enthusiast version created for at-home chefs. Learn how to pair beer with your favorite foods, including chocolat, charcuterie, and chaise. You'll also get to ultimately know beer styles. You'll see data and stories that will convince you that full-flavored beer deserves a place on the menu along with wine and spirits. Oh, and of course, the course is free. So visit craftbeer.com to learn more. You should do that. Okay, well, I think we're not going to get any calls today, which is fine. So I will give this away on the next show, because you guys listening live can't figure out how to call in.
Or maybe they didn't want to overshare and they're too self-conscious.
Yeah, or they can't go to the conference, which I get too. I mean, it's a big ask.
True.
It's in September.
We're asking for a limited set of people to respond.
Right, that happen to be listening live, and so sometimes it doesn't work out. But I think it's a great game. Overshare with the Brewing Network.
Do we still have the answering machine? Because maybe people could...
I don't even know. I have no idea.
I don't know either. You should try calling random numbers and just oversharing on answering machines.
Until you get one of us.
Until you get ours.
Yeah. We'll do it next year.
Well, I tell you what, here's Justin's cell phone number, so call him. He's 925-788 85. So that's Bev's number, so give her a call whenever you want to overshare. What do we have for dinner?
Your deepest secrets.
What do we have for dinner? Just the old spaghetti factory.
She got a bunch of appetizers. She got one of everything off the appetizer menu.
I actually did.
At Spaghetti Factory.
Except for the one thing, they have this olive thing that looked gross.
Olive tapenade or whatever the fuck? Yeah. All right. Well, you probably look really great walking down the street with a bag of apps. Like, just dinner for one. Me. That's me, Beverly. Dinner for one.
Well, it took longer because they messed up my order. I ordered meatball sliders, and they just gave me 2 meatballs. And I was like...
I'd be kind of okay with that, though.
This is wrong.
Where's the slider materials? Yes. How do you slide it along here?
Well, I went back, and I was like, I think I ordered the meatball sliders, not just a side of meatballs. And they're like, oh, you did. Sorry. So they fixed it, and they didn't make me pay for it.
Nice.
Did they act like it was normal that somebody came in and wanted all of the appetizer menu to go?
Good question.
Well, they didn't make it seem like it was anything unusual.
Okay.
They probably get it a lot.
They're very polite there.
Do you want some sour beer?
No, thank you.
It's very good.
I believe you, but no, thank you.
It's cherry flavored.
Cool.
Oh, now I want it.
Yeah.
I'll bet change your mind.
Yeah.
Have you reached out to Adam and Eve about touring their facility in Hillsborough, North Carolina?
No, I have not.
I'm deadly serious. I need you to do this for me.
We have to go there.
Produce a fucking email.
Ask them if our numbers warrant that.
I mean, I can do that. I've stood outside of their facility.
Wait,
in Hillsborough, North Carolina.
Begging for free samples?
Is there some sort of statue in the front?
There's nothing. It's just their sign.
No big cut?
Just their sign, but it's in their specific font. And we were driving from Wilmington back to Raleigh.
Non-doubting their commitment.
And no.
Did they tell you where the ointment goes?
We pulled over, and I was like, "Look, I know that."
I would love if they had... That's a good... Yeah.
It is.
I love if they have like those wacky inflatable arm guys, but just shaped like a big cock.
Oh, yeah.
Cocky, the mascot for Adam and Eve.
Uh-huh.
Cock with arms.
I think it'd be amazing.
Great addition.
With 2 cocks.
Did we get any calls while I was gone?
No.
Overshare?
No.
Nobody wants to overshare.
No.
Well, I think more... Trust me, the listeners want to overshare, but I think they don't... I think they probably can't go to Sacramento for the fest.
Yeah, that's probably the limiting factor.
Yeah. Which is fine.
Well, they can compose an email.
Yeah, so I think...
They can produce an email.
Produce an email. When is the next show, Bev?
The
2
10th.
weeks.
In 2 weeks.
The 10th.
Okay.
With Drake's.
So let's give it away on the 10th. So I'll tell you what, that's a good idea. Email feedback at thebrewingnetwork.com.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of Drake's people listening, maybe. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
They're local.
And title the email Overshare with the Brewing Network. This is the email title. If anything else comes through and you're oversharing, you will not be included.
Not in the
It's just going to go into feedback. It won't be in the competition.
Right, yes. And then we'll all hear about your Aunt Nisa, who, whatever. Overshare with the Brewing Network. And in the email, overshare with us. Tell us what you think you want us to hear about yourself. And then we can make fun of you. And then we'll give the passes away on July 10th, you said, right, Bev?
Yes.
Okay.
July 10th.
We'll do that. That's a better idea.
That's a great idea.
I think that works better for our current listenership, too.
Even better if you're local, you can be here because it's going to be there's going to be like a whole big thing here. It's Drake's Aroma Coma release.
Yeah.
Aroma Coma. That sounds great. 10th. You know what else is great? Beersmith. Go to beersmith.com.
Oh, yeah.
Create your 21-day free trial. Get all your brewing software needs met over at beersmith.com. They were at HomebrewCon.
Brad is probably the nicest man in the world.
I spent a lot of time talking to Brad.
I lament the fact that I never got over there, but I walked by him all the time. Like, I got to go and say hi, but I never made it over there.
They did a talk of some kind, didn't they?
Yeah, he was
on the exhibit hall floor.
Yeah?
He came over and he was like, do you guys have a speaker I can borrow? We just blew ours. And I was like, no, go to where they're doing karaoke. They'll probably let you use theirs.
Oh, my God, yes. They were doing karaoke on the floor.
Oh, my God.
I'm so bummed I missed it.
No,
it was
not.
terrible because I'm sitting there trying to do a fucking radio show, and they're singing, like, don't stop believing.
Oh, so
hold on to the feeling.
But I will say
so
the guy
was there?
I will say that the guy who started it out, the guy who headed up the karaoke, he started it out with Bohemian Rhapsody, and he kind of murdered it in a good way.
Sure, that's why he's the karaoke guy, so he can do that every time.
Oh, it was the karaoke.
He's the guy to get it started.
He's the guy that runs it.
You're right.
Did you hear that he also did Edelweiss?
I don't know what that means.
That song?
He also did that?
He sung this song. I think it's from The Sound of Music.
Yeah, Edelweiss.
Sang that?
Yeah. He sang this at and fucking killed it.
And Bohemian Rhapsody? What?
I don't know if he was the Bohemian Rhapsody guy. But this is what you sing to a bunch of beer guys, like.
Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I get high, I like to see like a perversion of reality. So that'd be like a mind bender for me. I like it. Because I'm never just doing one drug, of course. Yeah.
Man.
Anyway, there you go. I thought it was pretty crazy. I was like, who the fuck sings this song?
That same tempo and everything. Like really
exactly. I mean, it was a deeper register, but...
Yeah.
Is that a common song to have in the karaoke library?
Never seen it.
When you go to places?
Yeah, The Sound of Music.
Sound of Music, yeah.
All right, sure, man.
Everybody asked for that.
I remember on the cruise, on the Labruski cruise, I really wanted to sing... that Merle Haggard song, "The Fight Inside of Me," and I actually got the balls to like put my name in the thing, but they closed down the karaoke before I could be there. I was like, God damn it!
They also hated us.
Yeah, to you or to everybody?
Probably just to us. Yeah. We were like, once the karaoke's gone, we're like, oh, let's leave, and then once all the BN left, like, all right, spin it up again, like in the movies where you plug the jukebox back and it goes.
Yeah, they didn't like us too much there.
No, not really. But only because we could have done their job a lot better. I told Jay, I was like, fuck these guys. We could do this job so much better.
Yeah.
You guys are dicks.
And we did.
Well, that's true.
And they didn't like it.
I mean, I feel like everything was cool until What's-His-Bucket took his pants off.
Yeah, that didn't help. Even though he had a Speedo on, it's not like he was exposing himself.
He exposed his bulges.
He did.
His one bulge. And then no one ever heard from him again.
No, really, I never saw him again the rest of that cruise.
First night, man.
Huh?
He faded hard.
He raged that first night.
Oh, that wasn't
the first night. Was it?
Yeah.
Maybe second. He made it. He didn't make it long. He
didn't do the whole cruise.
He was on the boat, but I don't know whose room he was in, and I don't know what state he was in.
One of the boats.
Maybe he stayed in the Bahamas.
Maybe. Hopefully.
No, I don't think he got off the boat in the Bahamas.
Oh.
Wow. He messed up.
I literally never saw him, and he was like that guy who would like talk close to you, and so you knew if he was in the room.
I actually know him a little bit. He and his wife help out at GABF every year.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're like good friends of Bad Rock.
Yeah, they're Coloradians, or however you say that.
Calorics.
Calorics?
Yeah, I think so. All right, Warren. Well, since the overshare with the Brewing Network game was a bust for the callers, let's go this Twitter game. What was it again, please?
It was, since the iDip has over 40 different tests it does already, they asked us, the BN, to help them figure out what the next new one is going to be.
The Brewing Network.
The Brewing Network.
So, Tour Game sponsored by iDip, smartbrewkit.com. All right, go ahead, please, Warren. Let me, actually, hold on. I lied. Let me get a pen and a paper. I'm ready. Please go.
Are you ready now? Okay.
Yes.
Mark says the test is for wienery units. Help determine the wiener to bitterness ratio to appease feminist demographic.
Ooh.
Because wienery make them really bitter, I guess.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Bev doesn't like it.
Well, she's a feminist.
That's true.
No Beer Left Behind.
He's also a humorist.
Says, taking Tasty's temperature. We all know where that's done. And then he has like a gun emoji with an okay emoji.
Huh. Put your gun up the
Well, I think it's like
right,
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a gun with handgun, like what you do with your fingers, not an actual pistol.
Oh, a finger gun.
Right, a finger gun. Yeah, and
okay.
Yeah.
Got it. I think that's also just a point left.
I like that.
Yeah, but the thumb is kind of up at a weird
I
angle.
gave that a 7.
Yeah.
First one I give it 5.
Okay.
You gave that one a 7. You like that
7,
one.
all right.
Okay, well, hold on.
Tasty likes his temperature
Let me write it,
taken.
because I would have switched it, and I wouldn't have included the second one. But no beer. I'll just put no beer. Tasty temp.
Bare Knuckles Brew says, yeast growth in Warren's beard or level of JP's sucking.
They're probably both.
Right. I feel like you only need to take one test for that.
Yeah.
It does both in the same,
it's linear.
in the same measurement.
Yes, exactly right.
Yeah. Austin says, bring back what's in Schumann's mouth. Insert the exact iDip. Pick from a list of diseases. Inform exact iDip of tests.
Oh, no.
We should bring back that game. And you know what? Now that he's a father of 2 and married, he would still do it.
He would.
That's the good thing about Schumann. Okay, go ahead.
Brian says, a paternity test, because someone should know. So if you trust iDip to know the results.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because, but see, and that's what got me, is not just the paternity test, but the someone should know.
Right. Not necessarily that you get to know the results.
Right.
Just that somebody out there knows.
And you can email those to your gangbang.
Right.
Go ahead.
Eric Johnson says it should test the sadness in JP's tears now that he is second on the death pool.
Oh, man.
It would probably be pretty
I felt
high.
really bad for you when I was listening to that. You were real uncomfortable.
He probably still is.
I haven't talked to Russ since then. He's texted me like 3 times and Twittered me once, and I'm like, no.
Giving him the silent treatment.
Yeah, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. Well, no, because I think what he did is I think Russ, I think he wanted to make the game more radio friendly and provide a drama. And
he would do that.
I think and I think he designed it, the results, to skew towards Justin and I being even, because he thought that would be cool. So I don't think that.
It sounds like the desperate longing of somebody who doesn't want to be second in the
You're a
death
cow.
pool.
Yeah. Wow, look at that. Came back.
Well, it's also his way of getting back at JP for making fun of Russ and his shitty rolls at D&D night.
Well, that's true, too. Oh, shit, we're getting a fucking phone call, Bev.
Oh, dear.
No, one person can't. We have to have at least 2 competitors to win.
Go ahead,
what if it's a really good overshare?
Oh, we'll try.
Chris says, has to be the wetness factor. Call it the 2-1A test.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
I didn't get that.
Sully would also always talk about the wetness factor, like making up beers, making up things. He would also say sparkle horse. That's a random shit. So anyway.
Thanks for that.
Let's see.
Context.
Jeff says, test for the juiciness.
Test for juiciness.
Oh yeah,
how
like
juicy is your water?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll put that on my list. I'll put that on my list. Jeff.
How juicy is this water?
Juicy. Okay.
Lloyd says, test the percentage of lucidity per episode for Doc to find out if he was just there, really there, or just not there at all.
Okay.
Barley Boy says,
good listener.
Test the trendiness factor of the beer. Call it the untapped or bro factor.
Ooh, okay.
And that's it.
Okay. What was the one, the Doc one? I forget.
It was test the percentage of lucidity per episode for Doc to find out if he's just there, really there, or just not there at all.
And who said that?
Lloyd McIver.
Wow. You fucking give his address out too, Warren?
312
Electric Boogaloo Boulevard.
So I have Matt from Fort Bragg on the phone.
Okay.
He really just wants to say what a good job you're doing.
Oh.
Well, not you, everybody.
Oh.
Really?
Well, then that puts it at slightly...
Fort Bragg? Too far for a hand job. Okay, just give it to us verbally.
Matt, what's going on, dude?
Not much. How you doing?
Pretty good. If you were here, would you give Tasty a hand job? He wants to know, but he's too embarrassed to ask.
Only for $1 million.
Man.
What about if Adam and Eve supplied the gel?
The Climax gel.
No. You're getting it wrong. You're thinking dollars. I'm thinking literally $1 million.
Okay. $1 million male deer right now. What's going on, dude?
Not much. Just wanted to call and say thank you guys for the great programming that you've had. I've kind of been listening to you guys for now over a year, basically since I started in the business and whatnot. So.
Oh, cool.
In the biz.
What are you doing?
Yeah. I'm right now a keg racker at North Coast Brewing.
Oh,
nice.
Awesome. Awesome, man. Yeah, we know a couple North Coast guys. Ken up there.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Ken's awesome.
Old Ken. I want to call him Old Ken from now on.
Is he old?
He might be. Hey, actually, tell Ken to email me. I have a question for him.
Okay.
Please. I don't have his email, but I'm sure it's like, Ken at whatever. Right? Yeah.
I think it's.
Well, don't give it out. Don't give it out because I don't want him to get bombarded with emails. But I do have a question for him. Anyway, how do you like racking kegs and shit, man? Is it suck, or are you
Is it everything that I hoped for and dreamed in my life?
Yes.
Actually, it's not that bad. I originally started off in the bottling line and whatnot, and then they needed somebody who can heft these kegs over, and I was like, sure, you guys are paying me to be able to work with and around beer. How can I complain with that?
Right. And they obviously see that you've made huge gains at the gym because you're strong enough to do that, and that's a bonus.
It's been great.
So how big are you? What's your height and weight? How can you actually do these kegs? That's what
What's the distance from your hand to the floor?
Are you a big dude?
No, I'm about 5'11", so
that's good size.
How tall are you, Tasty?
I'm 5'9".
So this guy's taller than you.
guy.
Yeah, he's
By like a lot. Yeah. Probably younger than you too.
So how many kegs do you rack a day? I mean, you're a racker.
Depending on if we have any cleaned, if we have clean kegs, we're able to do about 7 pallets an hour, and each pallet is 8 kegs. So.
Nice. And how many pallets of kegs does it take to empty a brake tank there at North?
Depends on the size.
Well, I guess over size brazier. The biggest one, let's say.
Our biggest one is, I think, a 500 gallon tank.
Nice.
Or 500 barrel, 500 barrel brake tank.
You got to rack a lot of shit to get
finish one of those on a day.
Yeah, you got to rack a lot.
Usually that takes about, if we're just racking the kegs and whatnot, it takes about 2 days to go through that. Wow. And usually we're doing about 500 kegs on those days. So.
Have you guys been getting the heat wave that we've been getting down here? Has it been 100 up there?
Not so much, mainly because we still get the trade winds and whatnot along the coastline. So I think the hottest it's gotten here is about 83. But over the hill into Ukiah, for where Mendocino Brewing Company is, they've gotten up to about 109 degrees.
No, I'd rather be at your brewery.
Yeah, for a number of reasons.
Yeah, those guys should make $5 more an hour than you.
Yeah,
sweating it out.
Yeah.
Hey, actually, I'll be up there next month, and we're going to stop by, just cruising through town. So I'll stop by and buy you a beer
at his brewery.
Yeah, at his brewery. It'll be his shift beer, but he doesn't know that.
What time you get off work?
I work an afternoon swing shift, so I usually work from 2 in the afternoon to 10:30.
Perfect.
So usually I try and catch your guys' programs during my 10-minute breaks. So
just on 4x speed.
Right.
But yeah, man, send me an email. I'll tell you when we're up there, and maybe we can get a beer.
Yeah, definitely the two people, of course, that you'll want to see are Ken, because Ken's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, Ken's good, dude.
one of the things I've been trying to do is learn about the brewing side, and I've been bombarding him with questions, and some of our other brewers.
I'm sure he's more than glad to answer. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Pat, who's our head brewer under, of course, Mark. Also, great, knowledgeable person, and then our other major person who's been great is under the title of a visitor service marketing manager, Joe Cita. If you want to learn about what's going on as far as any of the concerts, anything that the brewery is getting involved with,
I don't give a shit about that.
He is honest.
I don't care about anything about that because really what matters is the people who put the product in the thing that makes me drink it.
Yes.
So the
bartender? You mean the bubbly stuff that has the alcohol in it?
Yeah, the fun juice is what I call it.
Oh, that stuff.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Right. No, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling, and you know, we'll be up there next month.
Sure, you don't want to overshare to maybe get a chance to go to Sacramento?
That's true. Have you heard that? Do you know what we're doing right now?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, we are giving away tickets to the California Craft Beer Summit in September 7th through the 9th in Sacramento. So if you can go, which it sounds like you should be able to, you have to compete in what we're calling overshare with the Brewing Network. So you have to overshare something that you think that we would give a shit about, and then we decide if we gave a shit about it or not. And that's the game.
These are tickets to the Sacramento Beer Summit.
It's the Beer Summit and the
but you
Fest.
it's just tickets to get in, not the room and all the stuff you got to do to get
Correct.
in.
Yes. Right. Thank you very much. Yeah. The passes to the 3-day event with the beer service at the end, which I'm sure you guys are pouring at. I would imagine.
I think North Coast people are going to be represented there.
Yeah. So if you want to compete...
I imagine Ken will probably be there for that.
Yeah. Well, you can be too. And then the best part is, if you go and you get tickets, you don't have to work. So you can go up to Ken pouring the beer at the booth and be like, what's your hoppiest beer?
Except I need to work on paying the bills, especially since I dropped the question on my now fiancé a month ago. So.
Oh, well, hey, congratulations,
you're a
man.
stand-up guy.
Going to make her a respectable woman, and I appreciate that.
But here's one of the things that I wanted to ask you guys as far as a drink for thought.
Okay.
So of course with North Coast, one of the big beers that we sell on average is our Old Rasputin, which is a Russian Imperial Stout.
Yes,
it's a great beer.
Absolutely amazing beer. I love it even better when it's barrel aged. So one of the things that I thought of, and I'm going to try and at some point figure out how to homebrew this, but is an idea of doing kind of the opposite color spectrum of the Russian Imperial Stout and basically do a white Russian Imperial Stout.
Okay. And how would you do that? That's the question?
Yeah, that's kind of the conundrum I'm going to be trying to figure out and whatnot. So.
I know Roger at Faction does something like that, and I think he uses like coffee to simulate the roasted grain flavors.
Yeah, from what I've heard, one of the big recommendations is using a blonde roast for the coffee note to the beer itself.
Yeah, but I mean, a blonde roast doesn't mean that it's like yellow color. You're still going to get color from it, and I wouldn't imagine that that the color variations on a lighter, which is basically just a light roast coffee, isn't going to do too much. I would go for flavor over color, to be honest.
There's some cacao for the chocolate character associated with darker malts.
And I think Roger actually throws in a little star anise too.
He does,
which is somewhat unique to him. But yeah, you don't need to add enough coffee to get color in order to get the flavor that's appropriate.
Right.
To just get the beer.
Right. It's some milk sugar. I think
too much of it.
You have more of a stout character.
Yeah.
Milk sugar.
Yeah, milk sugar.
Yeah, especially if you're going for the White Russian.
Yeah. So play around with those, but honestly, I would email Roger and see if he would. Yeah, he's a good dude. Or better yet, go down and visit him, and then you'll see his butt.
Right. He might email a picture of that to you also.
So. Here's your answer.
Don't ever, never get on an email chain with Roger.
Oh yeah, you'll get other pictures too.
Oh yeah, text message thread? No,
no. It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's gross.
In my
Yeah. Hey, look at this. No, I don't want to look at it.
So probably as bad as Flash v. Flash with 4chan, if you know anything about that.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
No. The things that you will never unsee in your life.
Right. Does that help at all, or you kind of already know all that shit?
Yeah, listen to it later. You'll get all the stuff we said.
Oh no, trust me. Any advice that I get, I always take it to heart and try and move forward with it.
Okay.
So one of the big things right now is I'm setting up to shadow some of the brewers I work with for when they homebrew, so I can get some hands-on experience with it. So.
Right. I think that's a good choice. All right, man. I'll let you go. Thanks for calling, though.
Take it easy.
All right, you too.
And also, congratulations on your recognition award during NHC.
Oh, thank you. I think it was very deserving.
So, all right. Take it easy, guys.
Thanks for listening.
Later, man.
Bye.
I didn't have the heart to tell him that I'm not Justin, but it's fine. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I thought you were just taking credit
show
for
up
it.
and buy him a beer.
Yeah, and I'm going to walk in.
Oh.
Hey, dude.
Like,
what was his name? John? Matt?
Can you give me a free beer here?
Bill?
It was Matt.
Oh, Matt. I'm going to be like, hey, Matt, what's going on, dude? And be like, first of all, Jay's going to get the email.
Yeah.
And then he's going to be like, oh, cool, another invitation to free beer. And I'm going to be like sitting here just waiting, and then Terrence is like, come on, we got to go. We're going up to the thing. I'm like, I'm waiting for this email. I don't know what's going on, man.
So you can't leave the house.
Can't leave the house.
And check your email remotely.
No, I'll be driving. I don't trust her to drive. Are you kidding me?
That's true. And the roads are windy to get up there.
Well, there goes your free beer at North Coast.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt, for not understanding who I am. Don't you know who I am?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah. I thought I had a fan for a second.
Yeah, really.
I thought I had one.
You even offered to buy him his shift beer.
Right. I'm appropriating his beer.
Offer retracted there.
Yeah, right? Okay, let's finish this Twitter game and get out of here. So, Mark said we should make the test something about a wiener to bitterness ratio. Wienery to bitterness?
Yes.
Okay. No beer left behind to check the tasty temperature.
Yep.
Brian, a paternity test because someone should know.
They should.
I like that.
Eric, sadness in my tears. To detect the sadness in my tears.
Right.
Jeff, a juiciness test.
Yes.
And then Lloyd, a lucidity test for Doc.
Right.
Which one are you guys leaning to? Tasty, which one?
I like the paternity thing.
Because someone should know.
Somebody should know.
Okay.
I had that number one, but whatever.
Okay, that's fine. You did good. Warren, what do you think, bud?
I was kind of leaning towards the what's in Schumann's mouth one, but that didn't make your list at all.
It's so much of an insider thing. I mean, a lot of people that are listening right now
don't know.
Who
Okay,
Schumann
all right,
maybe
fine. Then
are they better or worse for it?
What'd you think of juiciness test?
I did like the juiciness. The test your water for how juicy it is.
Yeah. Is that what you want to throw your vote?
I'm a fan of that. If you wanted to,
it's either that one or the paternity test. So I guess Tasty and I are synced up.
Jesus, well, pick
it's
one.
our time of the month,
for God's sakes.
Well, but there's you and Bevo also.
Just pick one.
Yeah, what do you think? Where are you listening? Okay.
Juiciness. Okay, thank you very much. Beverly?
I like the paternity test one.
All right. Paternity test wins. Brian, congratulations.
Way to go.
You've won the I-Dip. So what you're going to do is email Beverly at BEEVO at thebrewingnetwork.com. She's going to get your address, and then she's going to ship this lovely I-Dip here.
It's great.
I'm not going to ship it.
It's a great
Oh, no, I'm not shipping that crap. That's your job.
Hell yeah, you are. Yes.
That's your baby.
This case is so sturdy, you could probably slap a label right on the goddamn thing, dude. It's padded inside and everything, man.
No, I'll pack it up.
And just so you know, Brian, it currently does not test for paternity.
That's true.
So
this is all
STDs,
theoretical.
Or STDs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it should.
But it really should.
And you're lucky,
check
though.
Check the pH of your stank. Never mind.
Of your stank?
Right.
Brian, you're lucky because this is supposed to go to one of the people on the on Dr. Homebrew at HomebrewCon, and I forgot. I forgot to give it away. Supposed to give it away live.
Yeah.
Forgot.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I found it behind the booth at the end of the week.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, isn't this supposed to be gone?
Nope. I mean, yes, but
yeah.
nope. Okay, are you ready to get us out of here, Warren?
Oh, yeah, I have more things to do.
You need a couple more minutes?
No, I'm ready.
Right.
I just need to get the picture.
Well, thank you very much for you guys for listening to us, and thank you very much for Greg from Blue Jacket for coming on the show.
Yeah, it's great to have
Talking
him
about
on.
some beers. I really like that barrel-aged, that Imperial Stout, man. I gave it to the folks outside, and they liked it, too. Yeah. And thanks to Matt for sending this Upland cherry beer with us. And
palate check there.
I will bring the rest back, Tasty. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm not worried about it.
I know. Okay, until next time. You ready, Warren?
Yep.
Okay. Until next time, everyone, we will see you later.
Happy birthday, Jamil.
Thank you to our show sponsor, More Beer. You can get absolutely everything you need to make great beer at home by going to morebeer.com. Greg Engert from Blue Jacket called in and we talked beer philosophy, dry hopping classic German styles, and even just blurring style guidelines in general. Merge your love of Disneyland with your lack of engaging podcasts by going to earsthatpodcast.com as JP, Terrence, Bevo, and Taryn talk about all things Disney. Get on Twitter for some good beer insight and homebrew info. Follow Nathan Smith at Nathan Homebrew, Mike McDole at Tasty McD, Warren is stuck over at Another Beardy, and the great Beverly is crushing cyberspace at Bevo1. JP thinks Twitter is dead, and you should follow him on Instagram at Major Jip.
It's true.
Today's show was produced by Bevo and JP, and your host has been Jason Petros. Be sure to follow the Brewing Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
JP's an asshole. Justin's a nice guy and winning the race. JP